Zach Wilson, 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 Wilson.
Yo ho ho, AFC East Roundtable. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Smackdown. We were supposed to have a special guest host this evening. His name, Zach Wilson, but unfortunately, he did decline. So it's just going to be us and the normal crew of the AFC East Roundtable breaking down a somewhat disappointing matchup for the AFC East. Of course, the Dolphins ended up coming out on top, essentially and metaphorically beating up a disabled child on Sunday. Congratulations. And everybody else suffering a loss while the Buffalo Bills were sitting pretty on a bye week. And ladies and gents, we have quite the show for us today. Let's go around the table. Let's see how everybody is doing in a less than 30-second synopsis. Richie, what's going on, man? How you doing?
It's been great. You know, life's just awesome. As a Jets fan, I've turned to, instead of reporting on my football team, I'm reporting on a reality drama TV show, apparently. That's what it feels like. Definitely. I've catered from football talk to who's reporting about what and what's true, this meeting there. I don't want to play, but I do want to play, but I actually do. It's a mess. I mean, what are we doing here? But other than that, Dan,
yeah,
great.
And so I will say your rant series is by far one of my personal favorite on this platform.
Well, YouTube seems to like it as well because I've never got that many views in my life. You guys love watching me be in just misery. Hope you guys enjoy my misery because I don't enjoy it. I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you what, man, that pain and suffering, it just equals success. Ryan, speaking of pain and suffering, how's life, man?
Dude, shit sucks. It blows being a Jet fan. This is not fun. Every damn week we find a new way to hit all-time low. And now we got Zach Wilson reluctantly wanting to come in and not play quarterback for the New York Jets. And Robert Saleh's trying to throw cover. And it just everything is going sideways. This sucks. It's miserable. There's too many games left in the season for this.
And surprisingly enough, I do want to get to that topic as it does go through with it. Tyson, what's going on? I know that you are absolutely thrilled. We were just talking about this before the stream. Several of us forgot that game was playing on Sunday because I don't believe they showed up on Red Zone once. What's going on?
No, Dan, they did not show up on Red Zone. And if you did, obviously, I don't think anybody volunteered, unless you're a Patriots fan or Chargers game, to voluntarily watch this game. But if you did happen to watch Red Zone, we did not get into the Red Zone, and neither did the Chargers. So that's why, if you're wondering what happened to our game, it's because there was no team that entered the Red Zone. I didn't think it was actually possible, but the Patriots managed to lose a game 6-0 on 2 field goals and not even get into the Red Zone the entirety of the game. It is actually mind-boggling of how great of a coach Belichick is and a tank master that he is, that he's managing the tank with one of the greatest defenses with 2 of the best players on the defense injured. They are literally the first team in NFL history. What is it, Global? They're the first team in NFL history.
Since like 1993 to essentially hold their opponents to 10 points or less and still lose.
It really is. Like, he's showing how great of a defensive mastermind he is. He's saying, look, I'm going to show you how great of a coach I am. I'm not going to score a single point and not even give up a touchdown and still lose. Like, it's amazing to me. But nah, I'm doing great. It's a great time to be a Patriots fan. Like I told you peasants before, the Cardinals won yesterday. So now the Patriots are really in sole possession of the second pick. And if we're looking at the strictest schedule, all we need is the Panthers to win one measly game against the worst division in football, and we will have the number 1 pick. So for everybody said the Patriots are not bad enough to tank, well, unless we can try to tie 0-0 in overtime, I don't see how we win a game.
That's a beautiful thing. More to come from that Patriots game. Colby, how you doing, brother?
0-0. What's up, buddy? You know, I said this on my channel during my breakdown yesterday, and I just said, you know what? Unless you are a defensive-minded fan, right? You like watching defensive games. You can't watch any Patriots game. Whether you are a fan of the Patriots or you are a fan of the team they're going up against, you simply cannot watch nor enjoy the game because the Patriots don't have an offense nor a special team, so they are not going to score any type of points. But they find a way, despite injuries, to have such an outstanding defense that will hold your team to a season low in scoring. Basically, no points are going to go up on the board if you play the Patriots. It's just game in, game out. It's boring to watch. Give me the offseason. Last week, I said that, you know what? Next time you kick it to me and we're talking about like the Patriots analytical side and breakdown, I'm going to just start throwing you guys some free agent names. So, I mean, let's just start with it. What do you guys think for the Patriots? T. Higgins, Kirk Cousins, because at this point, that's where I'm at. I'm done talking about this team every week because it is the same thing every single week. For the first time, I actually know what it's like to be a Jets fan, and I never thought that I was ever in my lifetime going to say that.
Welcome to the pain.
I don't want it.
Welcome to the pain. Switching from one painful organization to the other. Z-Bot. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, it's nothing but pain on here. The Dolphins' pain will be around the corner. Don't worry. Their pain's a little delayed. They're enjoying the fun now for all of us, on behalf of all of us, which good for you guys. I couldn't be more jealous right now. This past weekend, however, very boring. It wasn't just because the Bills were off. That made it, I mean, at least with that, the silver lining, there's no need to have your heart shattered into a million pieces for the, whatever it would be now, the 12th, 13th consecutive week. But, you know, the positive of not having the Bills play is you get to watch everybody else and hopefully some good football. Really not much good football to be found yesterday, which sucks. Yeah. So not only was it boring because the Bills were off, thankfully we didn't have to worry about them, but the slate yesterday was real rough. So as of right now, as far as my football life is concerned, I'm in the trenches with all you boys. I'm painfully grinding through it.
So I'll tell you what, surprisingly enough, from what I witnessed yesterday, I've come to the conclusion that the Bills do not have a gauntlet ahead of them. We maybe have one concerning game moving forward. No one's scared of the Chiefs. No one's scared of the Patriots. No one's scared of the Chargers. Things are looking good, but we'll get there. And by the way, Dolphins fans, congratulations, first place. It just came to mind that you guys might win 12 games in a regular season for the first time since before I was born in 1990. How does that feel, Doug?
Great. Fantastic. It's about goddamn time. It's only been, 20-something years? Like, geez Louise.
Right.
I'm feeling good. 3 games in first, sitting back. We just destroyed the Washington Commanders.
Too easy, man.
We're taking care of business. We keep getting knocked down and made fun of for taking care of business when other teams cannot. You just do your job. That's all you got to do. And you take care of business, you keep winning. But I will say this. The Chiefs seem a little pissed. I feel bad for Buffalo, but we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. It's going to be a good game regardless. Hey, it might go to overtime. And then, Josh Allen can show that he can win in overtime. It'll be another game of the week. Maybe he'll win this one.
He won't.
Doug, we have to update the Dolphins beating a winning team because yesterday the Broncos lost to the Texans. So now the Broncos are back to 500, which means it's still the Dolphins have yet to beat a team with a winning record. We have to update that for everybody.
Gotcha. It's like
TD.
What? 600 now.
TD, the last introduction. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay, man. I was sitting on the couch this morning talking to my wife, and I said, "You know what, man?
Don't take the bait, guys.
I feel no, I'm serious. I was like, when I get on that round table tonight, I'm gonna take it easy because the Jets are just going through, the Bills are going through, Patriots, they right where they want to be, and then that Zach Wilson news hit. I can't catch a break. Why can't we be number one in peace? Why y'all got to try to steal the highlights of everything? Listen, man, at the end of the day, we're number one. We're feeling good. We're at the top of the world. We're the best team in the NFL. And we got the best quarterback in the NFL. That's the recipe of a Super Bowl to me. So not much more to say, man. We good, man. Oh, and by the way, congratulations, though, to the Buffalo Bills. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen actually had a weekend. He didn't throw an interception. Congratulations.
See, the funny thing is that I feel like that if you put the interception equation into the conversation, you also need to throw out that he also leads the league in total touchdowns. But onward, we
Bro,
can
I
go
was-
from there, baby. If
I
he
was
wants to
giving
Brett
y'all love.
Favre it all over the place,
running back,
I'm completely.
I was giving
I'm
you love. I don't know what the
completely
problem. I was
fine.
showing
No,
you
no, no,
love.
no. Hey, listen, bro. I've known you
Compliment.
for years. I've known you for years, bro.
Compliments, bro.
Right? Hence why I said don't take the bait because I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. And
Take
do
the
you know
compliment.
how many times I fell for the guys? In all honesty, I'm kind of sad. I fell for it way too many times that I would like
take
to
the
admit.
compliment. Bro, take the compliment. Man. Take the compliment.
All right, well, ladies and
Z-Bot, will
gentlemen,
you take the compliment?
What more can I do at this point? I'll take the little things.
well, hey guys, listen, we do have a great show for you today. We're going to be breaking down all of the games that occurred this past Sunday and then some of the normal arguing back and forth. I'm sure you guys are ready for it. But right before we dive into it, guys, we do have a pretty interesting update about what is happening with this channel next week. A new show. And I would love to pass this along to Richie to enlighten you exactly what to expect on Roundtable Sports this coming Monday.
Absolutely, Dan. Thank you so much for the assist. Listen, you guys know Roundtable Sports has been doing a lot of expansions and everything, and this is not another divisional expansion that you might be, another Roundtable announcement. This is a simple guess. It's going to be another division. Nope, not yet. That's coming. But we are announcing our first ever show on Roundtable Sports' YouTube channel. So this is going to be the first ever show, and it's going to have a special host, and we are really, really excited to announce this. So here it is, the official logo of the brand new show for our new, let me just say this again, first ever show on the Roundtable Sports. And just a little update of what Roundtable Sports is. This YouTube channel is going to be covering everything. The NFL, eventually other leagues. This is going to be the mothership of all motherships, and we are going to be launching our first ever show. And it's not going to be AFC East. It's not going to be a certain division. It's going to be the entire NFL coverage. And without further ado, here it is. It is called 3 and Out, and it is produced and hosted by this guy, Ryan. Jets Talk 24/7 is going to be hosting and producing our first ever show, and it is called 3 and Out. So, Ryan, I want to give you the floor to kind of break down what we can expect on 3 and Out, because I think it's going to be a great show. And by the way, it's not just a show. It's a game show. So why don't you break it down, Ryan?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. If you guys remember the first few episodes of this SmackDown, it was kind of a around the horn-esque style show where you got into different topics and you were kind of eliminating people left and right. Well, I wanted to take that idea and really take it to the next level. And I think we've got some really good stuff planned for it. It's going to be super interactive with the poll questions. You guys can save people from elimination. It's going to be a lot of fun topics, a lot of fun content creators coming on. I think it's going to be a really, really fun show. Figure about a 45-minute show that you could throw on the way home from work. It's going to be airing 1 o'clock on Mondays starting next Monday.
Let's freaking go. That is sick. Now, guys, I just want to link to the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel real quick in the chat in case you guys are not subscribed to it. We have around 450 subscribers, and this YouTube channel where this show will be live. So I'm going to link it right now in the chat if you guys want to do us a favor and simply go over there and subscribe. Again, this is going to be the first ever show on this YouTube channel, and we would love to get that YouTube channel up to 1,000 subs before it goes live. Click that link right now, guys, and subscribe to the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. We're trying our best to grow this thing, and the best part about all this stuff is that you guys in the chat are part of the growth here. It is a collective effort together. So, folks, don't forget to subscribe right here, Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. What we got? 455 subscribers. We're going to update that later on of the show. Already at 470. There we go. Let's get this to at least 1,000 subs by the end of the show, guys. The first ever Roundtable Sports show will be launched, and I cannot wait for it, Ryan. Cannot wait for it.
I'm excited.
Cannot wait for it, baby. Let's go. I'm winning that first episode.
Shooting for the damn stars, baby. And I love each and every single second of it. And
it
honestly,
makes it like a
watching,
Jets themed show based on 3 and Out, but really it's all about the NFL.
No
Could be
fear
a
So
Jets
watching a
fan.
lot of
Ryan.
Brian's
Patriot
production
chill right
as
there,
well.
3-0.
And so watching a lot of Brian's production, like he sort of gave us like I'd say a little teaser and stuff. Like say for example, somebody like makes a terrible take. Like I can imagine that, with TD gets several of these, but like you freeze. It's gonna be incredible. It's going to be visually immaculate, and the content's going to be even better. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and hop into this show. And just for the sake of all of our sanity, let's go ahead and get this Dolphins game out of the way. All right. The Dolphins ended up playing the Washington Commanders this Sunday, and they won in convincing fashion. So right before we talk to our Dolphin representatives, let's go around the table and give our brief take, starting off with Z-Bot. Z, both you and I have had the luxury of not watching our Buffalo Bills break our hearts this week, and hopefully we were able to watch a little bit of the competition. What do you think about this Dolphins and Commanders game on Sunday?
The Dolphins continue to be the best team in the NFL when it comes to beating the opponents that they should be. Every single other team in the NFL, I think, to this point in the season, and we're getting almost to the end here, they have had their slip up. From the best teams in the league to the worst teams in the league, every single team from there in between has found themselves in a rut against a team they should absolutely smoke. And the Miami Dolphins are the only team that have been able to handle their business every single time. And as much as we get on the Miami Dolphins for not being able to get over the hump against a team with a winning record or a quality opponent, as we would define by that narrative of a winning record, they continue to win the games they should. And that's why when you blink, all of a sudden last night, a game, the Chiefs, everyone thinks the Chiefs are going to beat Jordan Love and the Packers. They lose. And all of a sudden they're 8-4. They're going in the other direction. No one really pays attention to Miami with the schedule they have had as of late. You really start to tune in when they do play against the Philadelphia Eagles, or when the Bills games roll around, or when they have to play against a team that really brings everybody to a TV. But when they get lost in these 1 p.m. windows and Tyreek Hill has another 150-yard day and 2 touchdowns and they just absolutely roll, you don't really pay much attention to it because we do take for granted, well, they should have done it. They did it. So why bother? But if they were to do the adverse of that, and we've seen that with every other team, it would be a major topic. So as much as it's easy to grab the low-hanging fruit on the Miami Dolphins, and God knows I've done it every now and then myself, you really have to have a tough time when you sit back and talk about the collective success of this team throughout the year. You got to sit back and give them their flowers, because as it stands right now, they are in a better position to continue to go the distance towards that 1 seed than maybe anybody else in the AFC right now. And I don't think anybody would have said that just about a month ago. So these games don't seem significant. They seem boring, especially when you're rolling in inferior opponents that everybody expects you to. But when you do it time and time and time again, there's something to be said about that. And the Miami Dolphins are certainly doing that. And that's why when you look today, as the AFC playoff picture continues to tighten up, it's never been more tight towards the top. I know it's really tight right now, especially for us Bills fans trying to get in at the bottom. But when you look at the top right now, even the more quality opponents are really finding themselves struggling to continue to stay in that top 4. Miami's getting it done where it counts, and you have to give credit to the Miami Dolphins for being able to do that consistently.
Thank you, Z-Bot. We appreciate that, bro.
I hate to say it, but it's the damn truth.
The only team with a better opportunity than us right now are the Jags, and I hope that changes tonight because their schedule is cakewalk. They got one more good game, but the rest of it is a cakewalk.
It's been an odd situation. It's certainly been an odd situation. My take on the overall game is that, really just echoing Z-Bot from this perspective. This Dolphins team, they take care of business when they need to. But I do want to put this out there, and I think even TD and Doug wouldn't even disagree with me on this point. And I even think Dolphins fans in the chat wouldn't disagree with me at this point. Tua is not your MVP. It's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is your
MVP. Disagree.
I believe Tyreek Hill, if he does not win the MVP this year, then I think that should be an absolute slap in the face to the rest of the NFL. Honestly, when it comes to putting an offense on your damn back, as far as overall scrimmage yards, as far as being your go-to guy, he's the MVP of this league. And I think he clears Tua within this situation. He's an absolute weapon. I never wish injury on anybody. I hope he can stay healthy and continue this process. But, really overall, took care of business when you needed to. But Tua is not your MVP. It's Tyreek Hill, 1,010%. Onward. Richie, your thoughts?
Debatable.
My thoughts. Well, my thoughts. Well, I didn't watch the game because the Jets were playing at the same time, and I just remember, the Jets can't move the ball. Oh, Tyreek Hill, 80-yard touchdown already. I like blink an eye, and the Dolphins are like up 17-0 before the Jets can even get a first down. I mean, it's just like, listen, I can't speak on the game. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. Did not watch it. I just saw highlights. I was in the middle of watching an incompetent offense of the New York Jets. But listen, man, the Miami Dolphins, you got to give them credit because they keep doing what other teams can't do. They take care of their business. The good teams beat up on the bad teams, and they win in convincing fashion, and that's what they're doing. Tyreek Hill is one of the best receivers of this generation, right? He's beyond just the best receiver in the NFL. You got to start talking about him about one of the greats because he is kind of defying the odds of just pure dominance, right? The ability to just completely run by defenders, and Tua does a great job to put the ball up there accurately on time, and in stride as well to make Tyreek Hill those plays. But also you got to give credit to the Dolphins defense. I mean, that pick six was unbelievable. Picking off a little screen route is not easy to do. The timing and the anticipation on that play was great. This Miami Dolphins team, they play with swagger. They play with a sense of, they just kind of have a unified effort where you just got to really look at it from afar and say, damn, they are definitely a special team. And they are a team that, is going to be a hard team to beat, especially when you have to go into Miami. So the same question arises where they will be tested in the playoffs. They'll be tested against really good teams, which I'm excited to see them play Dallas, I believe, which is Christmas Eve, because they haven't beat a good team yet. But at the same time, they've only versed 3 good teams, and they lost to 3 of them, and their record's at 9-3. So if you're a team heading into a season and you look at it like, okay, we're the first, 12 games of the season, 3 of them are going to be up against good teams. 9 of them are going to be up against bad teams. You win all 9 of those games and you lose those 3, you're still happy at 9-3. I mean, the Miami Dolphins are sitting there at the top of the AFC, potentially sitting there if the Jaguars lose tonight, but they will definitely be the 2nd seed regardless. So, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you have every single reason to be excited. Enjoy it now because things are going to get tougher and the stakes are higher. And we shall see if this continues. But again, Miami Dolphins fans deserve to feel very excited because it's an exciting time to be a Dolphins fan. I know it's been a while for you guys. And it sucks as a Jets fan because we suck. Sorry, I don't want to turn this into my Jets.
And don't worry, Richie. Listen, I think that you're going to love the way that I take this Jets conversation. It's going to be more so about the Zach Wilson controversy, about him denying going back to an ex that just kills him over and over again. We won't even talk about that game. Ryan, your thoughts on the Dolphins and the Commanders matchup?
Yeah, so like Richie, I did not watch this game. I saw the highlights coming through on Red Zone. I had Red Zone off to the side, so I did get to see all the scoring and everything going on. And man, I'm jealous. I wish we had Mike McDaniel as our head coach. Like, he is so creative. Just everything they're doing right now is right. And I understand that, like, there's going to be a lot of criticism. They haven't beaten a good team because I'll be, just as critical of that. They're going to face a Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans this week. Then they got the incompetent Jets in week 15. And then you got the 3 tough games, Dallas, the Ravens, and the Bills. This 1 seed, I really believe, is going to come down to that week 17 matchup against the Ravens. They have played a significantly harder schedule and have the same record at this point in time. I believe you guys are both 9-3, I think. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I think with the speed that you guys have, you can match up against anyone, and your defense has played lights out against teams they should be playing lights out against. And it's absolutely credit to you guys being able to take care of business week in and week out, because it is constantly an issue for the New York Jets. We can't beat anyone, can't get any points on the board. I mean, we're hoping our defense is going to score us points so we can actually get some type of success. So you guys having the success you're having with the offense you're having is, I'm jealous, but I still want to see you beat someone.
And so, fun fact. And so with Tyreek Hill, 600 out of his 1,400 receiving yards are yak.
And
goes on ahead and puts in that he is your MVP, and Tua has nothing to do with his success.
Stop
Colby, how you doing?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
How you doing, brother? Tell me your thoughts about the Miami Dolphins against Washington.
Yeah, man. Look, my biggest question about the Miami Dolphins was more from a defensive standpoint than it was offense. I mean, we've known for a couple of years now that the Miami Dolphins offense is going to be one of the most, if not the most prolific offense in the entire National Football League. But were they going to be able to back it up with their defense? And let me tell you, while I had some question marks early on in the season, they've proven me wrong, and they have definitely solidified themselves as a very good all-around team. When their offense can't produce, their defense is able to step up in the rare occasion that their offense can't produce. And, this game was never close. And the Commanders are a team that a lot of people will kind of get down on. They're not a good team this, that, and the third. They're a very inconsistent team in my mind. But Sam Howell is not an easy quarterback to stop. Look at the Patriots, one of the best defenses in the National Football League year in and year out. And they led over 300 yards to Sam Howell, who before this game at least led the NFL in passing yards. He's not an easy guy to stop. He's not an easy guy to slow down. That Van Ginkel pick six, I believe I'm saying his name right, was absolutely mind-blowing. I couldn't believe my mind when I saw that play happen within itself, as Richie even touched upon. I mean, Tyreek Hill, game in and game out. Like Dan even said himself, how is this not going to be your MVP? Your best player on this team is not Tua. Tua, I would say, is top 3, but Tua is not your best player. It's Tyreek, game in and game out, carrying this team on his back. I think we've seen it when Tyreek Hill isn't able to perform and put up those numbers, how much of an impact it actually has on this team. Just like everybody else, my questions about the Miami Dolphins are going to come down to that stretch of games, because at the end of the day, they still have not beat a playoff caliber team. And I know that Doug, and I know that TD, they're going to come back and they're going to have their things to say about that. But at the end of the day, it's true, right? You have to be able to beat one of the top teams if you're going to talk about going to the Super Bowl. You have to be able to at least defeat the team that is going to be in the AFC Championship game if you're going to talk about winning the Super Bowl. You have to get to the Super Bowl first, at least talk about winning that game. And right now, to me, I think that biggest test is going to come when they play the Ravens, who in my mind are the hottest team right now in the AFC. But you know what? They played a very, very clean game offensively. They put up 3 sacks defensively. They got a couple of turnovers. They got a pick 6. The Miami Dolphins are doing everything right now. And although they have not beat a playoff caliber team, you cannot deny the fact that they 120% deserve to be in the playoffs, and they deserve to make a deep playoff run.
All right, Doug. Talk to us about your Dolphins.
They did their job. Like I said, they came out, they did what they were supposed to do. They handled business. Fun fact about that Andrew Van Ginkel interception, Vic Fangio told him, listen, that right tackle, he does a certain something when they're going to throw a screen outside to the wide receiver. Look out for it. And Van Ginkel saw the right tackle do it, and he jumped and picked that ball off. Blew me away. Was not expecting that to come. But 100%, yeah. Anyone with eyes in their head knows that Tyreek Hill is the MVP. Yeah,
thank you.
It's obvious, but you also have to give some credit to Tua for getting the passes to him, throwing the ball accurately, anticipation, all that other stuff. But Tyreek Hill is just ridiculous. You put him on any team, and they're going to be 100 times better just by how dynamic he is. So, yeah, an unbiased person can really sit back and look and say, yeah, 100%. He should be the league and the Dolphin MVP, also offensive MVP, and even offensive rookie MVP, even though he's not even a rookie. That's how good this man is. Just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, this game is just another, step towards hopefully building something. And they have to take care of business. If they want to break that narrative, they have to take care of business with the last 3 games of the season. Now, it could be the last 3 games of the season are for seeding, not necessarily for the AFC East. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But Dallas Cowboys at home is going to be very important. The Ravens in Baltimore, very important. Side note, Tua I think he's 2-0 versus the Ravens, even in Baltimore. And then you got the Bills game. I think that last Bills game now is going to be for the Buffalo to potentially get into the playoffs. So they're going to be playing their heart out.
Trash.
You got to play to that competition. But I will say this. You look back and you talk about the 1999 Rams. They 13-3. They played one team over 500 that they beat. The other 12 teams were under 500. No one looks back at that team in 1999 and says, they didn't beat any good teams to get into the playoffs. You get in there, and then things could change. Look at the Giants when they, barely got into the wild card and then made the run to the Super Bowl. It's about getting in my opinion, but I'm 100% agreeing with you guys that, you got to beat the opponents. And to me, those last 3 weeks, we'll see what the Dolphins are. But as the season's going on, the defense is getting better and the offense is clicking. And they're not taking, if you're watching Hard Knocks, they're not taking anything for granted. So I'm very, very excited to see what this team can do.
And so I think it's very important to always reflect back on history, just like those Tampa Bay Buccaneers who went 6-6 before their ultimate Super Bowl victory. Tyson, your thoughts on the Dolphins and the
Pass. All right.
Bro, there's nothing to say, man.
Give us our flowers, man. Everybody done conceded.
I'm on Twitter today, bro, and instead of Dolphins fans celebrating this win, they're literally arguing about Tua, about him not getting his flowers. So I don't got nothing to say, bro. Y'all can't even give your own team credit. Why would I give you credit? Instead of worrying about your team being a good team, I see arguments about Tua to Tyreek Hill. This is and then Tyreek Hill went on Twitter and tried to defend Tua, bro. This is ridiculous to me. How are you? What are you guys? 9-3, 8-3, or whatever? Yeah, 9-3, right? You're 9-3, and your fan base, instead of worrying about we're one of the best teams in the league, we have a potential to finally win a division since Tom Brady tore his ACL. We have a chance to be the number 1 seed, even though Jacksonville is the best team in Florida and they're going to get the number 1 seed. Instead of worrying about these things and worrying about Baltimore, worrying about the Chiefs, you're worrying about who gets the most credit on the team, which is because it's Tua, bro. I don't understand what it is about him. Is that even when you win, your fan base can't even be happy because you're too busy arguing with other fan bases about them not giving Tua enough credit for the win. When everybody with a brain knows the reason why you're putting up these points and blowing out these teams is because Tyreek Hill. It's not rocket science. So I just don't understand. If y'all don't believe me, bro, go to my Twitter, look at some of the retweets, some of the quote tweets. It really is this way. They're not talking about blowing out the Commanders. The entire argument right now is the Tua to Tyreek Hill touchdown pass. It was a touchdown pass. Who gives a damn if it was underthrown, if the route was a little bit off? Who gives a damn? It was a touchdown. Why are we arguing about this? And it's constantly, well, now Tua's only plus 500 to win the MVP. Well, Tua's ranked 2nd, and he's ranked 3rd, and he's ranked 5th here, and maybe he has more yards. Sam Howell has more yards, but that doesn't count in the fact that Howell played this and that. Or it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen from a fan base in the history of this league. Dolphins fans, this is completely on you. This doesn't go to any other fan base in the National Football League. This is the Dolphins community, bro. They don't give a damn about playoff wins. They don't give a damn about going to the Super Bowl. They want Tua to get his flowers and to win the MVP. That's why you see all the Herbert hate. This is all within the Dolphins community. They can't be happy for their own team without bashing another. And that's just a fact. And Dudley, you can defend it all you want, but if you see it, you're in the community, and TD, you can defend it all you want, but it's the truth. Instead of just being happy, the Dolphins are the best team right now in the AFC East. I can't argue against that. The Dolphins are a top 4 team in the AFC. Can't argue about that. They're beating teams they're supposed to be. They're not just beating them. They're eviscerated them. You can't argue against that. Just be happy, dog. This is the first time you've been in this position in 15 fucking years. Just be happy and move on with your fucking life and see where the chips fall where they may. We'll see what happens against the Cowboys. We'll see what happens against the Ravens and the Bills. And when you get into the playoffs, because you're pretty much clinched it at this point, we'll see what happens if you can finally win a playoff game. Then you can start shoving it in people's faces. But right now, bro, it's just not the time. And the attacking commentators and calling the cow herd and all the talking heads not giving Tua credit, it's asinine to me. If you think you're a good team and you know you're a good team, you don't have to constantly defend your quarterback. If you think Tua was him, then stop defending him the way you are. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm going to say it again. You're not getting any flowers from me until you win a playoff game. I don't give a damn even if you beat the Cowboys and you're number 1 seed and you win the rest of the games. If you win a playoff game, then you'll get my respect. Until then, stop asking for respect when you haven't did anything to gain any respect. So that's where I'm at, man. That's just why I just don't like talking about it no more, because it's going to happen next week against the Titans. We already know what's going to happen, and it's just win a fucking playoff game, bro. And we're not even asking you much. I'm not asking much. Just win a playoff game. And yes, you do want my respect. And yes, you do. And I'm looking at the chat and I'm looking at you little peasants. You do want my respect. That's why you bitch and bone. And not just my respect. You want the national media to slurp you and get on their knees and their hands and knees and give you the dolphin blowhole jobs. Y'all want the media's national respect, because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't be on Twitter 24/7 asking for it. So stop saying you don't want respect. You want respect. Every team that has a great team wants respect. Patriots fans, when we were dominant, we wanted respect, but we got the respect because we earned the respect. If you want respect, earn it. And you're not going to earn it by constantly crying about why Tua is not getting this national notoriety when you're going out here beating the trash Washington Commanders that literally lost to the Giants team. Stop it, bro. It's ridiculous to me, man. Grow up, man. Y'all are more mature than this, bro. Grow the hell up.
TD, what up, man? Your thoughts? Dolphins game, baby. The Commanders.
It really ain't much to talk about with that game. We did what we were supposed to do, like most of you said. I got to be honest with you. To a certain degree, I kind of agree with Master Work, even with the Dolphin community. There is a portion of the Dolphin community. It's kind of weird to me, because if somebody said Patrick Mahomes is actually a trash quarterback, most people wouldn't even respond to you. They wouldn't even make a comment. They just move. They'd ignore you, cut you off, change the channel, whatever it may be. And to me, it's almost like this level of insecurity. And I've gotten to a point right now where Tua has changed my perception of him. And what it's done is made me not really argue about him anymore. It's made me not even really talk much about him anymore in that way. But here's what I think Dolphin fans need to realize. Like Masterwork said, there is a portion of our fan base. And if you're not one of these people, stop advocating for them like I'm saying something wrong. It's not you, it's them. And you got to start recognizing it. There's a portion of this fan base that would take a Tua MVP over a Super Bowl right now. They would take a Tua MVP over a Super Bowl right now. And that's where the sad part is. And that's why it's arguing and crying all day. I don't talk bad about Tua anymore. I just tell you what it is. This is what I think. This is what I don't think. And like I said, he's kind of changed my perception of him, because I didn't think that he could be a franchise quarterback. With this system and these weapons around him, he could be a franchise quarterback now. I truly do believe that, because this system has brought out the best in him and allowed him to showcase what he does do well. There's things Tua don't do well even to this day. But gratefully for this system, we don't put him in a situation where that shows. Now, some of the better teams may try to put him in that situation, and that's what we got to overcome. But I want to switch gears real quick, because the Commanders game, I don't even worry about. We did what we were supposed to do, like we're going to do the next 2 weeks versus the Titans and the Jets. But I got to say this about this MVP race. I kind of disagree. Tyreek is the MVP right now. But Tua can end up being the MVP, and let me explain why. First of all, Tyreek got to hit that record, which I think there's a great chance he will. But the one thing Tua can do to actually leapfrog Tyreek and win that MVP is go 5-0 in the last 5 games. Maybe even 4-1, honestly. And here's why. Because there will be no more narratives about him. It will remove all narratives about the good teams. And now, don't get me wrong, not just the record, but you got to play good football in those games. If Tua plays good football in those games, he can win the MVP. Now, is he going to do it? Now, I don't think he's technically going to do it. I think he'll do enough for us to show something impressive, but I don't think he's going to have the type of games that's going to elevate him over Tyreek, but it's possible. And let me tell you why. If you're putting Lamar Jackson in the conversation, he has a head-to-head. You know another quarterback in the NFL that's playing right exactly on Tua's level this year? Now, technically, I give this quarterback the edge because he hasn't turned the ball over as much. That's Dak Prescott. Everybody's ignoring what's happening over in Dallas, but Dak Prescott statistically is head-to-head with Tua, but he's a little bit better. He got a higher passer rating right now. A lot of people may not know that, which is 108.3. Tua's at 106. He has an exact same completion percentage at 70.1, and Dak is winning games with the same record as well, and they have a head-to-head. So you see, Tua play well and beat Dak. Tua play well and beat Lamar, and then get the Buffalo Bills off your back and end it for them. He could very well win the MVP. He can actually win it over Tyreek. Tyreek gonna do his thing in them games, but them teams gonna scheme for him. Just like when we played Buffalo last time and Tyreek had 58 yards. They're gonna scheme for Tyreek. That's why Tyreek better hope he get 150 against the Titans and the Jets, because them last three, they're going to be scheming for you. They're going to be trying to take away that record from you. So he got to pile them up in the next 2 games. But Tua could actually win the MVP if he balls out the remainder of the season. Just my take, may not be a popular one, but I think he could.
I want to add one more thing, because obviously, like I said, Tyreek MVP. But this whole thing that Tua can't do things, or Tua doesn't do things without Tyreek there. Up until November 22nd, without Tyreek Hill on the field, Tua was 54 for 65, 570 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 123.7 passer rating. He does fine without Tyreek on the field. It just makes him better. And that's where we can all agree that he's the MVP, because he just makes him better. But to say that he needs him there, I wouldn't necessarily say that. But
Super Bowl.
I think it's
So
a
the
lock that
Dolphins
Tyreek
would
Hill's
have-
offensive
Tyreek
So the
coordinator
Dolphins'
is that,
offense would be on the same par without Tyreek Hill.
I
He
just
was
said he
terrible before
makes
that.
him better. But without Ty, I don't think he needs him there, is what I'm saying.
Oh, y'all need Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill went down with an injury, on an unfortunate injury next week, your
he
season's
makes
over.
him better. I said that.
Your
Tyreek
se-
Hill.
yeah, but your
is
season
a
would be
huge
over.
Part of why they're 9-3, but Tua is still a really good quarterback without Tyreek Hill on the field.
Didn't y'all almost get rid of him?
Whatever.
Almost get rid of who?
Didn't y'all almost get rid of
Yeah,
Tua?
they're talking. Yeah,
Mul-
they're talking
mul-
about when
multiple-
I'm gonna skip past that. Like, y'all
multiple
didn't
times.
almost try to
Stephen
move on
Ross had
from him.
a meeting with
Multiple-
Deshaun
Before you got
Watson.
Tyreek Hill and Waddle.
They
didn't y'all-
tampered with
multiple
Tom
times.
Brady.
So we could we can talk about that if you want to talk about that. I'll go down that rabbit hole all day, every day if you want to talk about it. But I feel
But
like
your owner, that was
As
your owner that
exhilarating
did
as that
that. That was
sounds.
your owner.
yeah,
As
because he did
exhilarating
what
as
the head
that
coach
sounds,
wanted
ladies
to
and
do.
gentlemen. And so as exhilarating as that sounds, I do know that Richie and Ryan are absolutely itching to talk about the fact
Oh my God.
that they lost to the Falcons. First off, I mean, surprisingly enough, I saw the Falcons finally started using some of their star players for the first time all season. I mean, wow. I mean, who were to know that this team would go on ahead and hold these guys up until they played the Jets? Who knows? But another terrible game. But my biggest story, something that I really want to unpack here, is the Zach Wilson issue, right? Allegedly, sounds like that they want Zach to take over it again. He's like, you know what? I'm going to think about it, So, Richie, tell me about this Falcons game. And more importantly, do you blame Zach Wilson for telling the Jets to metaphorically go fuck themselves? Let's go.
I mean, listen, this is a convoluted mess that we're sitting here, where we don't know what the heck is going on because there's so many mixed reports. The first report was the report that you're alluding to, that Zach Wilson is reluctant to play. And then we hear from Robert Saleh, and Robert Saleh said, I just spoke to Zach Wilson, and he wants the ball. And he said if Zach Wilson did not want to play, he would not be a part of the New York Jets organization. He would not be here. He would be cut. So it's just a mess. My 2 cents of it is to kind of like, and listen, I'm not behind closed doors. I don't know what's going on, but this is what I think is what happened. And we also heard some more reports about it, is that Zach Wilson was talking to players, talking to coaches, saying like, if they want me to go back out there, I don't even know if I want to play, because doesn't want to weigh the injury risk. Because and you're thinking of Zach Wilson's perspective, right? The Jets are done with him. There's no future with Zach Wilson for the future. So why would he want to go out there and risk injuries for long term? So that's what he's probably telling people. And then apparently Aaron Rodgers heard him say that And Rodgers called him and said, this is career suicide. If they want you to play, you play. And then that's when Zach went to Robert Saleh's office and said, you know what? I do want to play. And then that's why there's this big mess, the report of saying he's reluctant to play. And then Robert Saleh speaks to the media an hour after, which was like the biggest like comedy show of all time for Jets fans. I'll never forget that moment. We had like 2,000 plus people. I think it was like 4,000 people in the live chat, literally throwing emoji tomatoes at Robert Saleh while he is live and just saying boo while Saleh's, speaking about this issue. Just rotten tomatoes being chucked at his face through the live chat. So I have no idea what's true anymore because you see a report and then you hear, is Robert Saleh lying? Could he be? Absolutely. Could the beat reporter be lying too? Yes, absolutely. But the reality is it's a clown show right now, and I don't know what's true. And it's just like, you bench Zach Wilson, which I'm on record to say I never thought benching Zach Wilson would do anything because it wasn't saying that Zach Wilson was his great quarterback. It was just saying that the people behind him were no better. And now they bench him, and the offense got worse without him. How is that even possible? The Jets offense stunk with Zach Wilson. Well, it's even worse with Tim Boyle and even worse with Trevor Siemian. And now the Jets are like, okay, Zach, do you mind going back out there? And Zach's like, hey, you thought I was the problem. Now look what's going on. You want me to try it out there in a season that's absolutely a disaster? And, so it's just it's a giant dumpster fire of a mess. And the Jets are, outdoing themselves of being this embarrassing clown show. And we are stealing all the fun from the Dolphins' first place run, and we are stealing the narratives, and everyone's talking about the Jets still, even our misery, instead of the Dolphins being at the top of the division, blowing out team. No one cares. Sorry, all Dolphins fans, you guys want your national coverage? Sorry, we steal it from you guys. How about that? We steal your national narrative. This is our league. Huh? This is our league. We run the NFL. We run the narratives. We run stories just through incompetence and clown circus nature. That's how we do it. Let's go.
Beautiful. Ryan, your thoughts. I mean, certainly feel free to talk about the game or if you just want to discuss the Zach Wilson situation.
So I'm going to take the same approach Richie just took and say, you know what? We're beating Miami in the national narrative. No, this shit sucks. This is terrible. Offense is terrible. Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian are terrible. They should not be starting. I did want Trevor Siemian to see the field prior to Tim Boyle seeing the field because I wanted to see if there was any spark that could be created. And it's clear as day, the best quarterback on this roster right now is Zach Wilson. And I think he has benefited the most out of the last 2 weeks. So this whole conversation coming out about Zach Wilson talking to players and having this I don't want to play due to injury. And Richie, I actually just sent you something over on Twitter. If you want to take a look at it. I just saw this posted. Apparently he went on, I guess it was ESPN New York or the Michael Kay show. And Robert Saleh did and said something along the lines of, they knew about the reluctance to play prior. So it adds a whole nother friggin' whirlwind to our talking points of, okay, he wouldn't be here if he didn't want to be here. But then Robert Saleh knew that these conversations went on. And then Aaron Rodgers reached out to Zach Wilson and was like, career suicide, can't do that. It's just, it's one big circus. And no matter what year it is, it always feels like, hey, it can't get worse like next year. And it always does. It's just, we are so snake bitten as a goddamn franchise. I just want to be proud of my team. And I feel like I haven't been able to do that for like the entire season. And it really, really sucks. I'm done. I'm looking ahead towards the draft and like, I'm frustrated.
Good God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we want to get everybody else's opinion on whether or not that they would tell the Jets that, sorry, baby, it's a little too late to apologize. All right. But I do want to get into today's sponsor, and that just so happens to be BetUS. BetUS is hands down the best sports book on the face of the planet. And each and every single person you see on the Roundtable utilizes this for just about everything you can imagine across all sports. I'm talking point spreads. I'm talking over-unders. I'm talking standard money lines. As you know, there is a game tonight, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals, who no longer have a quarterback. There's only one active starting quarterback in the AFC North. Wow. All right. But anyway, say, for example, you do want to put some money down on that game. We will go on ahead and discuss the spreads here a bit later. Definitely check it out on BetUS. Link is in the description. They're matching 125% of your initial deposit. The cash outs are easy as hell. And they have some of the best customer service on the face of the planet. Say, for example, that like you're 6 beers deep and your phone screen's looking a little blurry and you want to go on ahead and put $100 on the plus 5.5 for the Jags. Just call these guys up and they'll do it for you. BetUS, links in description. Make it happen. And now here's a message from BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Where the revenge begins. Z-Bot, if you were Zach Wilson, this team has publicly shamed you over and over and over again. Do you blame Zach Wilson for giving this organization the middle finger?
Hell no. And how about it comes down to, well, Daddy Rogers called me, so now I got to go knock on Uncle Salah's door and say I want to play now. Like, I'm so sick and tired of, for starters, the last 2 months, we're creeping closer to Rogers' return. But, of course, there was always that small caveat that everybody wanted to overlook, and that was, the Jets have to be a playoff team in order for that to make even remote sense. And everybody knew that wasn't going to happen. So he still runs with the national narrative so that he can have the breaking news spotlight at least once a week when he goes on either McAfee or he talks to somebody else, that he's one step closer to being able to take the field. Yeah, that might be well and good, but for what reason? Because he's not going to. He never was going to. And that's what's so annoying about this, is he got to dominate the news cycle for however long with a story that was never going to come true. And now, at the expense of Zach Wilson, this team, who has now had to try every possible option, probably knowing Zach Wilson was still the best option. The best option in general would have been to fire Nathaniel Hackett, give the fan base some sort of respect, acknowledgement that none of this is going to work. And we know damn well, I mean, if everybody who's a casual football fan knows that Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian is no better than Zach Wilson, you don't think the guys in the locker room know that? They did that to appease however many narratives were out there. Zach Wilson clearly wasn't good. We have to do something. Unfortunately, we can't do the most obvious thing here in firing Nathaniel Hackett. So we will just go with the two worst options. So Zach Wilson sits here, not only after being thrown to the wolves 4 snaps into the season and having to take the brunt of almost everything that has gone wrong for these Jets by everybody, including the best player of all time for their franchise, and Joe Namath. I mean, never let that go unknown. I mean, the fact that he was getting dogged by everybody. And even, it's bad when someone like me starting to feel bad for the kid, because I've never liked Zach Wilson at all, but I was really starting to feel bad for the guy. And you go through all of that all year long. There was never a prayer that offense was going to get better. And the more you watch that offense too, the more you wonder, would it even have been that great if A-Rod was around? Sure, it would have been better, but would they have been lighting the league on fire the way that offensive line is, the way everything around Zach Wilson was? I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, Zach Wilson takes the entirety of the blame because there was this narrative out there that, well, we don't know what they would have been with Rodgers, so we can only tell ourselves it would have been incredible. And the only reason it's terrible is because of Zach Wilson. So now here he sits with those other two guys getting some burn, looking no better, frankly, worse, right? I mean, Tim Boyle, could there have been a worse game in history than what he trotted out there against the Dolphins on Black Friday? I mean, it was laughably bad. Even for Zach Wilson, I don't think he throws a 99-yard Hail Mary the other way before half. There's degrees of bad. And even though we all might have thought Zach Wilson might have been the elite degree of it, at least he was a top pick in this draft with some semblance of a game and way more athleticism than the other two combined. At least he could extend a play. So you watch all this unfold, and now all of a sudden it's on him to have to go back and say, okay, I want to do this again. After all of that unfolds from beginning to end this season, he's the bad guy now for wanting to preserve his health, maybe have a chance at going and being a backup somewhere else, which I think is more than likely going to be where his career heads. And I think that that's a proper role for him, and I think he can succeed in that role. But all of a sudden now he's the bad guy because all this unfolds and Rodgers thinks it's career suicide. I wouldn't take advice from Aaron Rodgers if I was in a burning house and he was the only one with a bucket of water. Going through him lately have been absolutely disgusting to me. I cannot stand the way that this guy decided to end his career here, because he did it all to himself. I loved Aaron Rodgers. And then he became the guy who was just the smartest guy in the room, no matter the topic. And now he's the pseudo GM for the New York Jets. And look at what happened. Look at what happened. And he wants to continue to try and piggyback off of other people's careers in order to extend the life of whatever he tried to build there. So you think he gives a shit about Zach Wilson's career or whatever? I don't know if how genuine that call is. I feel like the more genuine thing would have been, hey, I totally understand where you're coming from. What's left to gain here for you? And now it makes Wilson, in my opinion, look even worse, because not only did he have to go out and have that leak, whether it was true or not, but then you have to go back, tuck your tail between your legs, go talk to Saleh and make it seem like it never happened at all. The whole thing to me is insanity. And I think there's one common thread through all of it, and it's Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the injury blew, and that, of course, blew the season up for the Jets, but it's all the other stuff that he brought upon this team while not even being out on the field that I think made this Jets season 10 times worse than it had to be. And you see him continue to do it this late into the season. So like I always say every week to you guys, I just feel terrible. It's absolute BS, and it never seems to have an end to it. Just when you think the season's finally going to come to an end, like you said, Ryan, time for the draft and stuff, there's always got to be just one more thing or another thing. Mm-hmm. And there's just no need for it at all. So to put a bow on it, I think Zach Wilson should do what Zach Wilson wants to do for once this season. The kid's had to pick up everybody else's shit all year. Let that kid go out on his own terms and figure out what he wants to do with his career. Don't let anybody else influence it.
So 2 more things real quick. I think it's wild that Aaron Rodgers had to reach out to him, but I wonder if like Saleh reached out to Rodgers to have it done. Because if Saleh did know about that tweet and those kind of conversations, and he did not get rid of Zach Wilson when he knew he was reluctant to play, and now he's telling Daddy to come out or Uncle Rodgers to come out to help the whole situation, like it scares the shit out of me. And then secondly, silver lining maybe is the Jets are so incompetent they get some kind of value for Zach in a trade where they're like, yo, the Jets fucked this up. Let's throw him a 6th round pick. Like, this sucks. It really sucks.
And to your point, like, how scary is it that the head coach has to call the injured quarterback to get the other quarterback to even want to play? I just feel like when you're at that point, no matter what is going on, it just seems like you got to start over. It's terrible. It's unbelievable, man.
Christ. Richie, I told you, bro. I fucking told you. People, and this was off. I told you, Aaron Rodgers, bro. He is who I said he was, bro. The most selfish, self-centered NFL player in the history of this game.
You tell me anything, by the way, but continue.
I know. I told you that Aaron Rodgers was going to be the downfall of y'all, bro. Even after he got hurt, because he was going to make it. No. It has nothing to do with the injury, Richie.
He tore his Achilles.
Nothing. Absolutely. I said his off-the-field antics.
What has he done off the field?
Name one thing. And now we're seeing the Zach Wilson thing. The Z-Bot just put it out there perfectly.
Okay, well, I love Z-Bot, but I disagree with everything he said. That's totally okay.
Give me one pro for Aaron Rodgers doing what he's doing right now, Richie. Give me one pro. I just want to know one pro.
Bro, the guy is hurt and rehabbing his Achilles and going out there. I mean, what is he supposed to do? He's just sitting there not doing anything. He has a spot on Pat McAfee, which he's had for 4 years straight. And now
is he coming back, or is he not coming back? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't know him personally. I wish I could call him and knew that. I would love to know.
Do you want him to come back?
I don't care if he comes back or not, bro. Like, at this point, I don't think he should come back because there's no reason to. But if he wants to come back and save his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett, then that's his decision to risk his own health.
Why is it that this only seems to happen, not only to the Jets franchise, but why does it always seem to always center around Aaron Rodgers in this drama, bro? It's been like this to and I follow Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay. This drama
I don't know how it's turning into Aaron Rodgers. I seriously have no idea how what's going on is turning into an Aaron Rodgers thing.
Z-Bot just put it down right and center.
The fact that your head coach
has to reach out to Aaron Rodgers about Zach Wilson when he could have just told him himself.
True. We don't know.
All this is alleged.
That's
like literally
speculation.
Like, no, this is all speculation.
So Diana Rossini. So somebody's lying. Either Diana Rossini is lying about the fact that Zach Wilson is hesitant, or Saleh. And I just watched his press conference, or Saleh is lying about it. Somebody is telling
lying for sure.
Lie.
I think all that's true. I don't know if Saleh told Rodgers to talk to Zach. That's the part that's speculation, I feel like. I think the rest of it feels like
he did talk to Zach. Rodgers did. Rodgers.
That's
But
what it's being
that did
reported
happen.
as. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're saying happened. Yes.
And why is this even? And by the way, who gives a damn? This is the most dumbest debate I've ever heard on the roundtable. Who cares if what Zach Wilson wants? Number one, I look at it from this point. You're a professional football player. You get paid millions of dollars to play the sport of football. Okay. At the end of the day, if the Jets tell you we want you to start, you should say when, how high. Not, well, I don't know. You guys kind of threw me under the bus, and now you want me to save you. Zach, I hate to tell you, bro. Nobody's calling your ass up to be the starting quarterback to save a franchise, dog. Especially if a franchise is 4-8. They're not calling you to go in there and be the savior, bro. I think he's got this thing all twisted. If you're on a roster and you're a quarterback on the roster and you were drafted to be the franchise quarterback, the fact that you're even hesitant to go out there and prove yourself, because at the end of the day, this is an audition for you. Now you're telling the other 31 teams in the NFL, I still get it. I can still play quarterback in this league. You should be I don't even understand how this is a discussion. Zach Wilson should be ashamed of himself. And the Jets should also be ashamed that they all brought him to this point, because weeks ago he should have started for y'all. Y'all knew good and goddamn well that Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian wasn't going to do a goddamn thing. And after the way Tim Boyle played on Freaky Friday, the fact that y'all went out and played him again after that performance he's put up on Freaky Friday to look like more of a freak than he did on Freaky Friday. I don't even understand what is happening in the Jets organization right now. And now you're on your hands and knees. Zach, can you please just come play? Well, we know you're horrendous, and we know that we might get you killed behind the offensive line that Joe Douglas don't built. We might get you killed. But can you please just play quarterback from us? Nobody wants to watch this product anymore. The Jets are a dumpster fire, dog. The Jets are a franchise where quarterbacks go to die. There's a little graveyard in the back of MetLife Stadium of quarterbacks that have died. And to further prove that point, the fact that Geno Smith is a caliber starting quarterback in this league who you drafted and just couldn't fucking develop, and he's still a competent quarterback, proves my point that the Jets don't know how to develop and draft quarterbacks. I don't even know what to say about the New York Jets. Y'all deserve all the misery you get. You really do. Not the fan base, but your organization deserves it. Not the fans. Richie doesn't deserve this shit. If this happened to the Patriots, and I know we're a dumpster fire, but at least we only have 1 year of being a dumpster fire. Y'all have an entire track record going back to the 80s of this shit continuously happening. I don't know, but all I know is, this is the last thing I'm going to say, somebody got to get fired. Hey, and man, I don't give a damn if it's Hackett. I don't give a damn if it's Saleh or Joe Douglas. Somebody needs to fucking get fired at the end of the season, because what's happened to the New York Jets is a travesty, and it's inexcusable, because there's too much talent on that defense. It's too much talent for this to be happening right now. I don't understand it.
Man, listen,
Tankmaster's just upset because he knows he's got to play the Jets last week of the season, and his high draft pick is up for grabs.
I don't know. Can you score more than 0 points?
I don't know. Defense had to score 2.
Hey, everybody that's been having a take so far is cooking. Y'all better hit that like button. Y'all know y'all getting some real cooking tonight. I'm hearing a lot of great takes, man. Dan, who turn is it? Is it mine?
It's Colby's.
Okay. It's Colby's turn. Yeah, damn, TD, step down.
Yeah, I'm
give me my turn, buddy. Give me my turn.
I'm ready to cook all y'all.
I've been here waiting my
Salute
turn.
to Z-Bot and Doug,
I'm not interrupting anybody.
They pissed.
Yeah.
They left.
I'm just want my damn turn. But you know what? At the end of the day, I do believe that this is the Jets' fault. I'm not going to touch on the whole Zach Wilson thing like everybody's been doing for like the last century here, but I do think that this is kind of their fault. You took him out for 2 quarterbacks that are not nearly as good as the product that Zach Wilson was putting out there. Now that you see they suck, you want to throw him back in. He's like, well, you know what? F you. And you know what? Good for him for saying that. But at the end of the day, I also don't think that Zach Wilson has the track record to be able to say F you if he still wants to have any type of NFL career, whether that's as a backup, whether that's as a starter, whether that's with the Jets, or whether that's with somebody else. But I'm going to bring this back to the game for just a second. A 5-point game that the Jets could have won. The Falcons are a very up and down team this year, just like a lot of teams in the league. But you know what? The Jets put out a product that was eerily similar to what the Patriots have been doing. You switch quarterbacks, it didn't work. You try to switch quarterbacks again, and it didn't go well. You tried to play multiple quarterbacks within one game, and it shot you in the foot. And you know what? If you don't turn over the ball maybe just one less time, maybe, just maybe, the Jets are able to come out with a win. Because you know what? From a defensive standpoint, although the Jets defense didn't do anything crazy, they still put up a pretty decent game, being able to hold the Falcons and Desmond Ridder to just 13 points. Desmond Ridder was only 121 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Kyle Pitts, who was their leading receiver, only 51 yards. They had Cordero Patterson fumble the ball. They had Desmond Ridder fumble the ball. They had another player for the Falcons fumble the ball, and they recovered absolutely none of them. On the other side of things for the Jets offense, though, this is the reason that you guys lost. Just like the Patriots offense, week in and week out, is the reason that they're losing games. It is the same thing with the New York Jets. Tim Boyle throws an interception. Absolutely no surprise there. Trevor Siemian comes in, fumbles the ball 3 times, somehow is lucky enough to only lose one of them. You have Dalvin Cook also fumbling the ball. When you have 5 turnovers, you are never, ever going to win that game. At the end of the day, I thought that the Jets were going to be able to come out with this win, but seeing these numbers, you guys didn't deserve to win this game. Fix this offense, because even as a Patriots fan, it hurts to see a good defense going to waste and essentially being what's keeping you in games. At the end of the day, the Patriots, the Jets, it's kind of like that Spider-Man meme where y'all are pointing at each other. Try to name the difference because he can.
I can.
What are we just? We're just
We
slightly
getting a generational quarterback and they ain't.
Yeah.
Number 2 picks aren't so easy.
Yeah.
You guys deserve purgatory for way longer than fucking 4 years.
I agree, Ryan. Ryan's right about that. We kind of do deserve
No,
it.
we do. But you know what? We still have to develop the young quarterback that we draft. And so far, I'm not confident in that yet either. So,
It ain't
Well,
as
we
easy
had
as you
one
think.
try. So let's try it again.
Right, TD? It's your turn.
What happened?
Your turn, buddy.
All right, so listen, man. Let's get this straight now, okay? First and foremost, I'm really tough on quarterbacks, okay? I don't like giving quarterbacks slack. At the end of the day, I'm really hard, but I'm team Zach Wilson. I'm team Zach Wilson in this situation. I totally disagree, and I'm not trolling. I'm dead serious.
No, I know you're dead serious. That's why I'm laughing.
I am team Zach Wilson in this situation. Let me explain why, okay? First of all, y'all did this kid so dirty. And let me tell you whose fault it is. It's the organization's fault. It's Robert Saleh's fault. And it is the New York Jets fans' fault. And here's why. First of all, you brought in Aaron Rodgers because you knew Zach Wilson wasn't ready. And you gave him his last lifeline. And you told this kid, we're going to have you sitting behind a legend for 2 years to get true development. And we're hoping on the backside of this, you're a better player because of it. Now that legend gets hurt and you throw him right back into the fire and you use that as his freaking evaluation. That's number one. That's dirty as can be. And number 2, like Master at Work said, you made him a backup, right? And rightfully so. He's playing like a backup. You put him right where he belonged when you went and got Aaron Rodgers. Perfectly fine. Zach Wilson is a backup. That's fine. Okay? Now, he's a backup. What do you sign a backup to do? If your starter gets hurt, you bring him in to win 2 or 3 games until your starter gets back. Nobody hires a backup with the thought process that the starter's going to be gone for the season. It's the rarest thing possible to say, okay, our backup is going to have to take us to the Super Bowl because you got a roster that was supposed to compete and contend for a Super Bowl. But that ain't what a backup is for. A backup is supposed to come in and help try to, and even in a big stint, 5-game stint, help us go 3-2. in a 5-game stint, if you need a backup, if you could just help us go 3-2. And guess what? What did Zach Wilson do to start the season? What was his record? He came in and did his job as a backup. What was he?
4-3.
No, in the first 5, Richie.
2-3.
2-3.
I think.
He went.
They were 1-3, and then they won 3 in a row to get to 4-3.
So
and now we've lost 5 in a row.
So overall, did he not really do his job as a backup? And now everybody's grading him and evaluating him off of what a starter's supposed to be. It's the most hypocritical thing possible. And now this kid is like, y'all want to throw him right back on the field. Y'all want to throw this kid right back on the field. And all of a sudden, he's like, screw not playing being career suicide. Throwing me back on the field is more career suicide. So I'm sorry. That's all I got to say on this matter, man. I'm Team Zach Wilson. I think that this organization is doing him dirty. It is what it is. You should have went out and got a quarterback at the trade deadline if you truly care. That's just my take.
No, TD, it's worse than that.
Thing is like the whole thing is super frustrating because you see Peyton Manning go down for the year. The Colts own the first fucking pick. Then you see the 49ers lose Jimmy Garoppolo. They get the number 2 overall pick, get Bosa. We lose Rodgers. You know, we suck. We suck without Rodgers. We suck without a good starting quarterback. I don't know what to tell you. It really fucking sucks, and I don't know what the answer would have been. Get a backup quarterback in early, and that's it. But you can't guarantee that you're not going to have a quarterback for the entire season. It's crazy.
Yo, Ryan, do you want the number from our therapist? I can send you.
The last thing I wanted to say,
he can work well,
and I see where TD's coming from, but this is what I said earlier when Zach Wilson, when Rodgers got hurt, and I said, well, I posed this question to Richie too. I said, what would happen if Zach Wilson went on a little run here? What happens if he played well?
Oh,
well,
what a great reality
Jets fans were going to say, well, we're just going to pull him and put Rodgers in. So that's even dirtier. The fact that the plan was to just put Zach in there and have him win these games and have him prove that he can carry y'all, but then pull the rug right from underneath his little ass and once Rodgers gets healthy and give Rodgers all the glory. So Zach Wilson, no matter what he did or did not do, he was never going to get credit for anything. Because at the end of the day, Rodgers, little happy little ass, would have came back in the season and been the savior for y'all and played the playoff game. Even though if Zach Wilson played well, he would have earned a starting job. That's my gripe with the Jets, and I know that was the plan. I know it was. So to me, that's kind of disrespectful, right? Is that Aaron Rodgers would have taken the glory away from Zach Wilson to go say, okay, now I'm going to not thank you for holding it down for me. Now let Aaron Rodgers take over, and I'm going to win a playoff game.
Why isn't this actually reality though? Like that would be great.
We were winning in spite of Zach Wilson. Like there's a reason.
No, I'm saying in a hypothetical world, if Zach Wilson would have played very well, and you guys would be, I don't know, second in the division, and you guys probably like right in the playoff spot. Don't tell me that the Jets wouldn't have said, "Okay, Zach Wilson, you did enough. Now we're in the playoff spot. Aaron Rodgers is going to take it home from us," meaning literally pulling the rug out from underneath him, even though he just earned. You know what I'm saying? He's the Zach Wilson that you guys drafted. Tell me that wouldn't have happened, Ryan. Tell me that wouldn't have happened.
Look, I don't. If the Jets get a backup quarterback in here and play just average, now it's would the Jets offense have looked average? The offensive line had a ton of injuries. Last year with Mike LaFleur, you got to see backup quarterbacks come in here and have 300-yard game after 300-yard game after 300-yard game. We got to see 3 quarterbacks in this offense, and all 3 of them look like dog shit. So I think Nathaniel Hackett's an issue. I think Zach's an issue. I think the offensive line is an issue. I think GM not bringing a backup quarterback is also an issue. There's a lot of problems on this team. It's not just Zach, but the defense was winning in spite of the offense. I shouldn't say just Zach, but in spite of the offense.
No, my hypothetical question to you is if Zach Wilson, let's say he would have like won 5-6 straight games, you're in the playoffs, and Rodgers says, "Okay, I'm going to come back in week 16. All we need is a game to win the playoffs." Do you hypothetically say, "Okay, Aaron, take over," or do you just say, "No, we've rode Zach here this far. He's carried us the entire season. let's see what this kid can do, or do you put Rodgers back in?
Hold on.
No, I'll go.
Maybe
I would absolutely put Rodgers back
Hey,
in. 100%.
maybe
And that's
If we were
disrespectful.
winning with
Maybe I
Zach
missed
Wilson,
it.
if Zach said, like,
I'm
if
gonna
we
miss
were
the
winning
Super Bowl.
because of Zach, then that's a different conversation. That's
That's
not what
that's my
happened.
question.
The defense.
If you
was
guys were
in
winning
spite the
because of
offense.
Zach
if you had a
and the
shot, you bring
defense.
Rodgers back and you try to go on that run you tried to go on at the beginning of the season. It's an entirely new team. You do not roll with Zach Wilson if you are winning in spite of what the offense is producing. You would have to go back to Rodgers. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you there, but I'm saying, what if Zach is the reason why you guys are winning games?
That's different. Then I think you keep Rodgers back and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
You were trying to hold water until you got to the end of the season to get to Rodgers. That's what it was. And I felt like it would have been better to play maybe a quarterback with a higher floor. Turns out Simeon and Boyle just have way lower floors than even Zach does. Zach just has the
Hypothetical worlds are
But
fun.
here's
It's
my-
fun
here's
thinking
my-
about like the Jets being good.
Here's
Right?
my issue, though.
These
Here's-
hypotheticals.
Here's my issue. First and foremost, you should have never benched Zach, right?
And TD, I hope you know that like I'm like known to be someone that's been saying they should not bench Zach Wilson. I got roasted for it as a Jets content creator. On this channel, I don't know if you on this I bring a little different heat, but on my show, I was consistent that they should not bench him. And now look what's going on. And the reality is, if they didn't bench him, we'd be in the same situation of Zach Wilson just sucking and everyone's rooting for his benching. It would just be avoiding this whole drama situation.
See, this is where I disagree. I actually agree a little bit on that. Let me say this though, Richie. Here's my issue. Everybody and their mama knew that Trevor Siemian and Tim Boyle wasn't better than Zach. Okay, that's first of all. Ain't no such thing when you got an offense operating like that that's supposed to give you this spark. Okay. The sad part about all of this is that Zach would have won Sunday. Zach would have won Sunday.
I think he's right.
I truly do believe Zach would have, because
I think y'all would have won.
that's why I picked y'all to win, because those are the games Zach was winning early in the season.
Simeon,
Those type of games.
He just lost to one of the Raiders.
How many?
We
how
got
many
smoked.
games? How many games? How many did you say Simeon had?
What?
You said
Three
three
fumbles?
fumbles?
Yeah,
no.
Simeon had three
But
fumbles.
Ryan, he losing to the Raiders, a red hot Raiders that was on a run with a new coach and all of that, bro. Zach would have beat Atlanta.
They had didn't the Raiders have like 12 points or something stupid like that? Wasn't that a low scoring game?
Guess
Am I
what?
losing
Guess
my
what?
mind? We've had like
I
five.
believe-
I don't think we've scored more than 13 points in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Zach
believe
played
the
great in the Raiders game
difference
until he threw that interception and which
I
lost him the
believe
game.
the difference is Zach would have at least put one touchdown in the end zone in that game against Atlanta. At least one, and that's all you needed. And I'm telling you, Zach would have won that game because that was the game. That was the Zach Wilson game. Matter of fact, y'all were at the end of the game and y'all were still in it. And I'm like, this is where Zach might actually make a play or two. This is where you would have needed Zach over. And then you bench Tim Boyle? Or
Yeah,
who did you? And then you went with come on, man. Zach would have, and guess what? You'd have had your 5th win with 5 games left. Still looking at 10 games down the barrel. Now you'd have still lost some games, but you got 3 winnable games in the future. And now Aaron Rodgers coming back is still alive. Zach would have won that game. Y'all all over the place, man. Y'all screwed this kid up. You did him wrong, and you knew why you brought Aaron Rodgers in. Because you also did the right thing by not going to get another quarterback and letting him sit behind Rodgers to develop and hope that you can get a better version. But then as soon as chaos hit and Aaron Rodgers got hurt, you abandoned that entire plan and said, Zach is on the clock now. Zach is on the clock. Let's see what he has to determine who he is for our future. That's why I don't understand when fans say, yeah, Zach Wilson's future with the Jets is completely over. Then it should have been over before you even got Rodgers.
That's not true.
Well, the whole idea, the whole perfect world was Aaron plays for 2 years and Zach sits behind and learns.
Exactly.
And then when Aaron wins and then he retires, Zach's the guy and he learned. And that was we never got to see that reality.
But you have him sitting behind because you didn't expect him to be what you wanted him to be this year.
You know what they did, TD, which was a mistake? They put all the eggs in the basket on Aaron Rodgers, and if he went down, there was zero backup plan. And not even that, the whole offense isn't even a system. It's his system. It was catered around him. The whole offseason talk was about how are the offensive playmakers going to get on the same page with Aaron with the hand signals. Everything was about Aaron in terms of like getting in unison, because when you're in unison with Aaron Rodgers, he has proved to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And when he went down, the sad reality is the Jets have not been able to figure themselves out, and they look incompetent. So the long-term plan was perfectly laid out there, but we never get to see it because of Rodgers' injury. And Zach was the backup behind him, next man up.
And the sad thing is, y'all Jets fans, y'all need to have this conversation a lot more. Who's developing these quarterbacks, bro? Y'all got to have the mindset works is right. I mean, this may not even be all on Zach. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel so bad for the kid that if he get cut in the offseason, I'm like, hey, Mike McDaniel, bring him in as the backup in Miami for the low.
So many teams.
Develop Mike McDaniel might make
it's guaranteed.
Mike McDaniel might make
Sam Darnold is on his way. He's going to be a franchise quarterback in 3 to 4 years somewhere. And Zach will be a franchise guy in 7 to 8 years too. Well,
Geno Smith is already.
Geno Smith was a backup for years after the Jets. And then Dan, if I asked you 5 years ago, is Geno Smith going to be getting paid the money he's getting paid, would you say yes or no? You said no.
No.
Exactly.
No.
And obviously it's a hypothetical, but I'm just saying there is a path for the busts of the Jets quarterbacks to go as a backup and then eventually get an opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity. And it's obviously, I could be completely wrong about Sam and Zach, but Geno is like just showing me that it's possible, and it's sad. And that's just the reality of the Jets, is that they draft a quarterback, he looks like a bust, he goes somewhere else, and he's going to thrive because the Jets are trash.
And we haven't had
yes, everybody, the rumors are true. GTA 6 trailer came out. I was watching it while I was
yes, sir.
Saw that. Looking forward to it.
2025 though.
What?
2025.
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be stupid
that's
expensive.
BS,
too.
man.
Should we
It's
show the
like
trailer?
$300.
Yeah.
It's all right,
The good
guys.
news-
But we just had a.
The good news is that the Jets might make the playoffs in 2025. So
Let's go, baby.
don't worry.
Maybe.
Look at that. A beautiful thing, guys. We just ended up having a heated debate about Zach Wilson. Indeed. Me personally, I certainly think that he did absolutely nothing wrong. In my opinion, just go ahead and salvage your health because, like everyone has been alluding to, he is more than likely going to be very popular in the backup quarterback market next year. And might as well see if you can go to a place that can appropriately develop you based off of your skills. I will say that I think that the entire Zach Wilson offseason, I think that COVID season where you had those individual sort of workouts definitely sort of escalated where he should have been drafted in the first place, but it is what it is. All right. Now,
I also have a prediction real quick, Dan. I think Zach is going to play this week. Like, I think Salah's about to name as the starter Wednesday, and Zach's going to be at the quarterback.
Oh,
like,
by the way,
that's going to happen.
By the way, Richie, based off of all the reports and what you reported and everybody else has reported, I think Zach Wilson very well scoffed at playing. And Aaron Rodgers did have a word with him. And Salah told him, if you don't play, you're no longer on this team. And that's exactly the message Salah came on the podium and said. Zach is what, and Zach probably said, all right, man, I'm in. Because Salah probably had to have a conversation to get him to buy in, or he's done. And he probably ended that conversation, helping him understand you don't do this, man. And Zach said,
that is true, right? Like, if Zach Wilson, let's be straight up with ourselves. If Salah said, Zach, you're up, and Zach said, no, I don't want to play, you're cut. I mean, you can't be a football player and be said, I want to play, and expect, like, yo, okay, we understand. It's either you're playing or you're out of here. So, TD, I 100% agree. I think that's what happened.
Worst case scenario, he goes through the waivers. And so he goes through the waivers and then signs with the Cleveland Browns, which I believe would be the Cleveland Browns' best option.
Although this is a very dangerous game, because what if Zach Wilson says, I'm mentally not there yet?
And
then he goes out and said, I'm mentally they broke me, and Robert Saleh is forcing me to play. What if Zach Wilson comes out and said, they forced to cut me if I didn't play, but I'm too scared to play?
That's on Zach. I'm sorry. No, he has to play. If he's
I'm talking about but mental health, bro. Mental health is a factor in it.
I understand that, but like, that's what it is. Then you're just they'd call him soft at that point.
Like
it's like
laughing.
you have to cut. That's a crazy hypothetical, but yes, I think
You
he
and
is
your
going to
damn
start.
hypotheticals,
very
Tank
wild
Master. Enough
hypothetical.
of these hypotheticals.
What if he goes through
let's take
waivers?
them.
What if he goes through waivers and the Patriots?
So the
get him and
hypotheticals
he
are
wins?
done. I'm putting the
I
hammer
think the
down.
Jets would
No
be
more
off
Shout out
of
to
hypotheticals.
you.
contract then.
The Jets take
That's actually probably
70%
one of the better
of the
things.
show while we suck. Okay? Let's stop talking about these people and this organization. I can't believe
when we were talking about the Patriots, it ain't gonna be much better, Richie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
they're doing it right. This is
They're literally talking more
yeah.
about the Jets than the Dolphins, TD. And
Oh,
that
everybody-
makes me pissed off.
But everybody
I
already
want
know.
that.
They already know we win in the Super Bowl. Next subject.
But that's
You
not a
always complain
knock
we
on the
don't talk about
Dolphins.
the
That's
Jets
just the
enough.
incompetence in the
one and done.
storyline of the Jets. That's the point. That's nothing against the Dolphins.
Man,
It's just
y'all
like,
give Zach Wilson his 5-year, $250 million contract and call it a day. Let's go. Give
Well,
that man
I'll
his
tell
money.
you what. You know what? I bring this story up because this is not the only story surrounding a starting quarterback in the AFC East. Rob Gronkowski, I'm sure we all remember his name. He was on ESPN the other day with one of the reporters. I forget her name. But regardless, the Mac Jones topic came up. And Rob Gronkowski mentioned that he thinks that Mac Jones should also just give a giant middle finger to the Patriots front office and ask for his release today. Go through waivers and go to the Cleveland Browns. This was him. If you don't believe me, that's exactly what ended up happening.
That sounds like something Gronk would say.
Yeah,
Colby.
Gronk don't deserve to be
Gronk.
on TV, man. He really
He's
don't.
terrible.
He's never
He's
been a
terrible.
smart guy.
He's
He's never had
terrible
a high
on television.
IQ. It's just been, I'm Gronk. I run through things, and that's been about it. How he got on TV from an analyst perspective blows my mind. It makes me feel like I could actually have a career in this.
Yeah, and I love Gronk, bro. I love him, bro.
Hold on. But
he
he's
doesn't
right.
deserve to be on television.
But he's right, though.
I didn't say he was wrong, but
Like, I'm going to be honest with you.
Although
There's
he
like
is.
5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now that should be thinking about doing this. You guys, Zach Wilson should be wanting out and seeing if somebody want to take a quick flyer that's better than the option they have that's still in playoff contention. You got Mac Jones, same thing. Go to some of these loaded teams that just don't have anybody. They still got more talent than some of these guys on the field. Ryan Tannehill out here holding kicks, place kicker.
And he messed up that damn kick too, bro. He messed up that extra point, bro. It cost me money.
You have I'm being honest with y'all. Some of these guys would literally help 2 or 3 of these teams still make a wild card. Cleveland Browns, Bengals. I mean, there are teams right now that's still
Steelers.
right in it. Steelers. And these quarterbacks might actually help them go to the playoffs.
And not Mac Jones.
But if you're Mac Jones, is different. If you're Mac Jones, is different
Well-
because, and maybe other quarterbacks too, because you can't demand your release because guess what? You're not putting out good film. You're not a good player. People are going to look at that film and look at what Mac Jones has done. Even if you look at this past game against the Chargers, although they didn't win, they put up 0 points. Bailey Zappi looked like a much more, at least capable quarterback than Mac Jones has looked over the last few weeks because Mac Jones' internal clock is so screwed up. That's why at the trade deadline, Patriots have tried to get something for Mac Jones. They can't. So if Mac Jones demands his release, he's going to be looked at as a diva. And if you can't play football and you're a diva, who's going to want you? You just ruin your football career by doing that.
But who's going to want him after the season? See,
I think as a former first-round pick, someone will take a chance. That's always the case. As a former first-round pick with the most valuable position in football, someone will always take a chance on it.
And you're right, but that's why I think that there are a few teams right now in a critical situation who are still in it that's going to get a raggedy draft pick that may take that chance too. They ain't got to pick him up off waivers, but if he clears, man, call him up. And I think they would. Those 3 quarterbacks, I think all 3 of them could find a job if they clear waivers tomorrow. I think there are 3 teams, even if it's as a backup at the minimum, that are Super Bowl contenders or playoff contenders, would call all 3 of them and bring them in. I think so. And that's why you got to look out for yourself as a player. Look at Zach Wilson. What is his future now? You might as well. You got to advertise yourself before the end of the season. If Ryan Tannehill asked for his release and the Browns picked him up and he took him to the AFC Championship with that defense, you don't think that he's going to be one of the top free agents next year? You see what I'm saying? You got to think about your own career and go out there and try to make one of these teams and get released because you're going lower and lower sitting on these benches of failing teams. Just my
Ryan, I know you got to go. Can you just give us your quick thoughts on the Patriots and Chargers game?
Dude, you guys are tanking the right way. And like, I'll be honest, I don't want to win the final game of the season against you because it's going to cost us a top 5 pick. We're going to miss out on either Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Wall, or Olu Fashanu. You guys are going to get your fucking quarterback, and you guys are going to want to lose. Like, I don't want you guys to feel good when we beat you. That's what's so frustrating as a Jet fan right now, because it's going to mean absolutely nothing for the New York Jets. And it's going to hurt our draft stock, and it's going to hurt our stuff for next year. It's going to help you guys in the future. And then what's going to be the nice little icing on top, you're going to wind up shipping off Belichick to Washington, and he's going to pick in front of the Jets because we wind up winning the final game of the season. That's what's going to happen.
Well,
I just wanted to hear Ryan say it.
I hate everyone.
Before we let you go, there's exciting things happening in Ryan's life, and that it's affiliated with Roundtable Sports. There's a lot of exciting things happening in your life, Ryan, outside of this stuff and the Jets. But we just want to say thank you because you are, again, and if you guys are just tuning in, you missed the top of the show, we have announced the first ever Roundtable Sports show that's going to be live on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel every single Monday. If you guys want to click that link that's pinned at the top of the chat and go subscribe to the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel, 3 and Out is going to be a game show hosted by Ryan, and he is going to be the host, and it's going to be 3 rounds of who wins each segment, going after each other, getting into heated discussions. Again, it's going to be called 3 and Out. And if you guys want to simply click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat and subscribe to Roundtable Sports, we're trying to get this to 1,000 subscribers by the first show. Again, click that link that's pinned in the chat right now. Here's Roundtable Sports. We got 517 subscribers. And let's get this up to 1,000 before the first show. Ryan, we're super excited for this show, and thank you for hosting this, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. First episode drops 1 o'clock Monday. It's going to be a consistent show on Mondays, and you'll have some of your favorite content creators on there. And I'm looking forward to seeing how heated we can get and some of the fun we can have with the chat.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Baby.
Thank you, boys. I'm looking
Congrats,
forward to it.
bro.
Peace out,
See ya,
Ryan.
bro.
Peace.
All right. Back
Patriots
to the
Chargers
floor.
talk.
That's right, baby.
Let's do it. 6-0. A lot to say about that.
Oh my gosh, man.
So I have the game log, the ESPN game log of the possessions. So the Patriots possessions, this is the entire game, by the way. Punt, 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 fumble, punt, 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 fumble, punt, 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 punt. So that's the Patriots game log. On the Chargers, it's 3 and out, punt, 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 field goal, punt, 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 field goal, punt, punt, kneel. That's the most exciting game I've ever seen in my life. There's really nothing much to say, man. I know y'all don't want to hear about this crap. I didn't think it was possible for the Patriots to lose a game 6-0, but here we are. At the end of the day, the Patriots are tanking. Belichick is proving that he can still have a great defense, even with all the injuries, but still find a way somehow not to score a single fucking point and still prove that he's a defensive mastermind. But it won't mean anything because Belichick's going to be gone at the end of the season. There's really nothing you can do about it at this point. At this point, it's pretty much we play Pittsburgh on Thursday. Kenny Pickett got hurt. They have
Mitch Trubisky. That
Mitchell
entire
Trubisky.
division, and the only quarterback standing right now from that division is Lamar. And I'm pretty sure he's even playing hurt right
And
now.
that's crazy because if you had to take a bet, he's like the most injury-prone quarterback out of all of them.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So, but yeah, so we get to play Mitchell Trubisky on Thursday. Do I think we're going to score any points? No. The Steelers' defense is actually pretty good, which is why they are where they are right now. The Steelers' offense is really, really bad. I think anybody who's tuning in for Thursday, I want to know what the under is, to be honest with you, because the under could be 10 points. The over-under could be 10 points. I'm being honest, TD. I honestly don't believe neither one of these teams are going to get into the end zone. And I honestly believe that this game could go into overtime or end up in a 0-0 tie. That's how inept and trash not only the Patriots offense, but Pittsburgh's offense is really, really bad as well. But I think Pittsburgh might get in. I think a field goal could win them the game. And then we play Pittsburgh, then we play Kansas City, and we're also the first team in NFL history who had the Monday Night Football flex because instead of the NFL looked so downly upon us as a team, as an offense, that they were willing to pull the Taylor Swift and Mahomes out of Monday Night Football just so the national, just so everybody else wouldn't have to watch us play football. So that's another thing. But no, the only two games that are winnable left are Pittsburgh on Thursday and the Jets at the end of the season. There literally is no other game that's winnable for us. And anybody thinks that we can win these games, if you can try to mathematically explain to me how you can win a game by scoring 0 points, please type it in the chat. Maybe a safety. You can win 2-0. That's a way you can win a game. The Jets tried to do it against the Falcons.
The
You know
Jets
what I
lead
mean?
The NFL in safeties by a large margin. Sorry.
That's true. But no, the Patriots haven't scored a touchdown in 3 games. They are on pace as Richie likes to talk about how bad the offense is for the Jets. The Patriots are on course to having the worst offense since 2011. And you also have to that was the 2011. I can't remember what team that was, but it was some trash team. But anyway, the Patriots are on pace to having the worst offense in the history of the National Football League, along with the 2011. I think it was the Browns or whatever that went like 0-16 or some shit. But that's all I got to say. Patriots fans, we're getting Caleb Williams and we're getting Drake May. That's the end of the story. I don't know which one of those we're going to get, but I think if we pick one, we pick Caleb. If we're forced to pick Drake May, either one of them is a good pick. Either one of them is generational quarterbacks, and they both have their pros and cons. So, and people are saying that Caleb Williams is going to return to the draft. Cap, they're literally just announced that Caleb Williams is going to not play in the Holiday Bowl. So and there was an advisor or something that talked to his dad that pretty much said Caleb Williams is like 95% sure now that he's going to enter the draft. Because if you're looking at it from Caleb Williams' perspective, why would you return to college? Let's say hypothetically, right? I don't want to go to the draft because I don't like who's picking in the top, who's going to be the number 1 or 2 pick that could potentially pick me. Well, now you're risking another year of college that you could potentially get hurt on, potentially take your draft stock, and who's to say next season those are the 2 teams that you want to play for are going to be at the top of the draft. It doesn't make any sense. You can make a shit ton of way more money in the NFL than you can the NIL. So that's not even a debate either. So Caleb Williams, whether he likes it or not, he knows he's going to have to come to the NFL, and he's an attention whore. He's going to want the spotlight on him. And I'm willing to give him all the attention he wants as long as he comes into the draft. So that's all I got.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these generous super chats that we have been able to collect throughout this lovely, lovely show. Certainly a great show of some heated debate as always. We always appreciate you guys coming on in, showing the most love. Clyde Taylor came in and said, love to see TD and Doug smiling. Fins up. That makes one of you, Clyde. That makes one of you, Clyde.
Yeah.
Austin generally is saying, TD, watch the Bills and the Dolphins still end up playing to win the division in Week 18, even though we suck right now. The choke of the Fins is coming. It's a narrative I'm sure that TD would love to kill this year. Will it happen? Or will reality rear its ugly head? We shall see. Go ahead. Onward.
Haters.
Onward. So the New York Jets have had 7 quarterbacks in 2 seasons.
Yep.
Wow. Holy shit. Is that right?
7 quarterbacks playing. Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
Onward.
It's crazy.
Henry Dunbar, $5, saying that the Dolphins beat the Jets and the Titans and the Bills will there lose to the Chiefs or Bills fine secure the division. By the way, I love you, Doug and Richie.
I love you too, Henry.
Henry, the man. Thank you so much for that donation, my friend. Keeps us going, baby. Bills 7-6 beat Chiefs 8-5, becoming 1 game back. Tony Dow, have no fear. Listen, man. Listen, bro. All right. I knew you were a Bills fan all along. All right. But don't worry, man. We're going to be having a lot of Bills and Chiefs conversations on this channel and mine this week. So stay tuned for that. That bum, Josh Allen. Tyreek's yards after the catch could be attributed to Tua leading him better. And so I'm no Tua stan, but give the man some credit.
Best quarterback in the division.
Dan, he's talking to you. Will you do it or no?
No. I stand on business, bro. Onward. Stop saying Miami only loses to good teams. Miami lost to 2 good teams and an average team. Bills' average team keep them out of a good team. Glenn, don't you ever
He right.
Bills.
He right.
Don't you ever write the Bills down in a comment again, because you can't beat us. There's a reason why Dolphins fans are in my chat all the time talking about, oh, like Bill's scared. Like, why the fuck would I be scared of the Dolphins, bro? Our team was built to have an always matchup advantage against your team. You literally have only won 1 game against us in the past 6 years, and that was when we had 11 starters out, and you won by 2 points.
Dan, can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
What's your level of confidence that
For the Buffalo Bills?
let me finish. If the Buffalo Bills
Okay.
win their last game of the season against Miami to get the 7th seed, to
Yep.
just verse them again next week, because the Miami Dolphins finished the 2nd seed and you verse them in the wild card round in the playoffs. Bills Dolphins rematch. From last
That's
year.
exactly what I want. That is exactly what I want is the Bills to hit the 7th seed, beat them in the regular season, and then beat them again at home in the playoffs, just to be able to get
Can
that
you
last lap.
imagine if that happened?
If
the
that
AFC
happens,
division winner
dude.
for the Dolphins gets thrown out of the
Dude,
like, you
dude,
can't
like,
even say you won the division.
that
You
would
can't.
be like, so many people are just
Look at
like,
that fear
damn,
in
dude,
Genie's
like we
face.
have to win the division. Like, some people are like, damn, like we have to win the division. Like, no, like what's my perfect masterpiece? My masterpiece
That would be
is getting the 7th seed and knocking them out in the playoffs as the 2nd seed. And by the way, stop this whole, oh man, like you're really going to beat so the Dolphins at home? Fools. I have never seen a Miami Dolphins game where your fans outnumber the opposing fans' fan bases. Your stadium is never full whatsoever. Listen, fools, that game's going to be in January and February, man. 70 and 80-year-old, like with all these couples are out there basking in 70 to 80 degrees. It's beautiful out there, baby. There's no home field advantage. Your fan base doesn't even fill up your stadium.
So
you have no advantage.
Y'all just
You have
gonna
no
sit,
advantage.
Y'all just gonna sit here and let Dan lie to these people.
No,
But
dude.
That
TD, would
be
you be
a
happy of
nightmare
winning the
scenario.
division if that hypothetical happened?
Talk about they got, first of all, the Bills
I'm
not
not
making the
wrong.
playoffs. But
TD,
know
you
what?
love hypotheticals.
Listen,
I'm throwing
okay,
one at you.
hypothetical. You know what I don't
Hypothetical.
like? You know what I don't
Like, what's the narrative in the offseason? Are you going to
No,
say we won the division? Like, puffing your chest?
I'm gonna entertain your hypothetical, but you know what I don't like
Because
about
that would be.
you know what I
Entertain
don't
my
like.
hypothetical.
You know what I don't like about this hypothetical
What?
is that I saw Master at work down there at the bottom left. He had this like regular little face, but as Dan kept talking, an itty bitty smirk smile, like, "Ooh, if that happened, oh my gosh, that's like winning the Super
It's my
Bowl."
hypothetical.
Y'all grasping at straws now, boy.
Because you know if that happened, that would be the end.
I've told you for weeks that it was going to be
everything
the
for you.
greatest story ever written, and that's what's going to happen. Bills are going to secure the 7th seed. First playoff game is going to be against the
Man,
Dolphins,
we're
and we beat
winning
them by
the
30
AFC.
points to send them
I'll
home.
tell you this much, TD, you be free. Dolphins fans would be shitting bricks if that was the matchup. If the Dolphins got the 2 seed and they
TD.
couldn't get the 1, and the Bills snuck their little happy asses up
Especially
in
if
the 7th
they
seed.
snuck in by beating them in the last week, so they got a rematch and they got to beat them
So,
again.
TD, honestly, like, please answer this question for me honestly, right? Like, you're the 2nd seed going in and you play the 7th seed. Tell me that the Bills are the last fucking team you want to play on Wild Card Weekend. Tell me that we are the one team you do not want to play for that first weekend. Be honest with us.
Who would have the number 1 seed?
I'm saying the Jags because they're winning out.
Let's say Baltimore, because I think Baltimore can get it.
Well, as long as the Jags went out.
Well, who's the last? What? Give me a team on the Jaguars schedule that's really tough. TD, you know their schedule.
Nobody, dude.
They got to play Baltimore. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Baltimore.
that's what I'm saying. The winner of that game,
maybe Baltimore. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. No, I don't want to see the Bills in the first round.
You know what I'm saying?
But they're not making the playoffs. That's why this is beautiful. Dan out here on his live stream selling hope tickets to people. Yeah, we're winning every game. And if they lose, and bro, it ain't happening. But I'll be honest with you. Out of the entire AFC, if the Baltimore Ravens are the 1 seed, the toughest matchup for Miami, yeah, it's
Houston or Buffalo. I mean, you would love this
it's
versus
only
the Colts.
Buffalo. It's only Buffalo. Buffalo
You love the versus the Colts, right?
I'm
Like,
not even as concerned about the Chiefs. Even though they beat us, I'm not as concerned. But Buffalo would be our toughest match if Baltimore is the 1 seed. Buffalo would be our toughest match in the whole playoffs. I know we could beat Cleveland because of their offense. It's just a matter of offense. If you got an offense that can break through, we're in trouble. That's just until we prove otherwise against the last 3 teams that we could go. If you got a good offense that could break through.
But you didn't answer my question, TD, to finish this up, and then we'll get to the next super chat. If that does happen, you verse the Bills wildcard weekend, you lose. Does the AFC East division winner even matter?
No,
you win in the division? Can you even say that at all?
I mean, you can say it, but that's just, it all go out the window. I'm gonna be honest.
Richie, you remember when you guys beat us in Foxborough in 2010 and we had won the division? Bro, there wasn't a single Patriots fan talking about we won the division that year, bro, because it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lose to a divisional opponent, especially the divisional opponent who you beat the division in, and you get beat by them in the first game of the playoffs. Oh, hell no.
I just sparked the worst fear in TD. Now he's
it's not a fear.
This is a hypothetical.
Because Buffalo is not making the playoffs. Listen to me. If the Buffalo beat the Chiefs, then we could start to have that conversation, but it's not the Chiefs you got to worry about. Okay. I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
If Buffalo beat the Chiefs and the Cowboys, I am concerned.
Yep.
I am concerned. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am greatly concerned because our last 3, I'm a realist. I know we're gonna win this division, but I still got us losing the last 3 games until we prove otherwise. So, and then people not think about this too. If Buffalo does win out and we do lose the last 3, Buffalo still win the division.
Yeah, but that's TD. That's not gonna happen. Come on, bro.
No, it's a matter of Buffalo.
The division is a wrap.
No, it will as long as Buffalo lose a game. Because
they play the Cowboys and the Chiefs, dog.
Yeah.
The New York Jets are, by the way, officially mathematically eliminated from winning the AFC East.
Oh,
you don't have to worry about us anymore.
That is sad. First off, with the Chiefs, no one's talking about. And so, first off, with the Chiefs, no one's talking about how clear it is that with Eric Bieniemy being gone, that the Chiefs offense cannot operate with the number 1 weapon being a 34-year-old Travis Kelce. Those receivers cannot catch a damn cold at this point. This Chiefs offense is fundamentally flawed, and the Bills, as TD has said many times, were built to beat a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah. Listen, y'all real test is the Cowboys.
Yeah. That's going to be – so that game I'm super – so that game I'm super scared of, but the thing is that what
is it in Buffalo?
Yeah. So it's in Buffalo. So this is going to be their first true cold weather game going into it, and I'm just happy it's at home. I'm very happy.
You have never seen 2 of the most evenly matched teams ever. Those 2 are so identical to me.
And so the Chiefs and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's get through these super chats. Michael says Finn's defense ranks 6th in yards allowed per game.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, dude, this constant narrative about us in December is old. We are not the same team that we were last year. Cherry pick history all you want. We are number 1 right now and far from being done. Joe Dude's coming in. Thank you so much for the donation, man. I appreciate you. Tyson's new secret. So Dolphins fans never going to learn.
I agree.
Thank you so much. Jimmy Casket. Marvin Harrison Jr., that's it. That's the super chat.
Future jet.
You're not getting Marvin Harrison Jr., Richie.
He's going to be gone top 3.
We're not winning.
He's going to be going at number 2.
We're not winning. We're going to get a top 3 pick. Did you not see?
Yeah, but you got to look at all the other teams that ain't going to win either. I mean,
we're right there. We're 6th.
No, 6 is not going to get you Marvin Harrison.
For now, I'm saying.
Richie, y'all got 2 more y'all
going to beat us in last game.
You're going to beat the Patriots.
No, we're not. Do you not realize that we haven't lost? We literally can't beat the Patriots. What makes you think we're just going to beat them all of a sudden?
All right, you'll see, Richie.
We already lost to them this year during this mess. What makes you think the Jets are just going to beat the Patriots? Why is everyone making them as a lock?
That was early when they weren't trying to really lose. Now,
that was when we were actually trying.
no, y'all gonna beat them, and then it's another game. I think I saw y'all schedule like Atlanta or somebody.
We just lost to Atlanta.
Oh no, it's one more team.
I mean,
y'all
Washington. We have Washington.
Yeah, that could be a win.
We have Houston, Miami, Browns, and then Patriots.
Browns could be a win.
They ain't gonna beat the Browns.
That's on Thursday Night Football, by the way.
Joe Flacco.
They're not gonna beat the Browns.
Joe Flacco slinging dimes.
That defense is gonna be alive in that game.
The Jets are going to score -3 points against the Browns.
So Josh Allen still leads the league in touchdowns and didn't even play this week. Go Bills, William. Thank you, brother. David Thomas, as a true Fins fan, I want a deep playoff run, and if we achieve it with run game and defense as a fan, I want and need my team to succeed by any means. David, I definitely empathize. 1,010%. Nose Kills is saying that the NFL is trying to phase out using helmets. Jets Surratt got flagger 15 yards for wearing one. Illegal use of helmet.
Yeah, I mean, the refs are an absolute abomination. I mean, we can all agree with that. I mean, the Jets did not lose because of the refs, but the calls that I saw in that Jets game was appalling. I mean, doesn't it just frustrate you guys? And let me know in the chat if you agree. When they bring in an NFL officiating ref on the broadcast to say, yeah, that's the wrong call.
Several times I heard that Sunday.
I mean, what are we doing? You're exposing your own incompetent product on the field. It's such a bad look for the NFL. There's many times, they call an illegal use of helmet on the Jets on a punt coverage. And then you see the replay, the helmet doesn't even touch the defender. It's a shoulder. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't know why they call that. It's not a flag. Like, it's just like...
I will say this. This is the first time ever where I'm actually rooting for the refs to call flags against my team. So it's actually kind of weird for me, bro. Every time there's a holding call or a pass interference, I'm cheering along. Yes, it was referee. You know what I'm saying? He held.
He's like, damn right. So, Dan, you might find this funny, but Omar Kelly says Josh Allen owes child support to the Dolphins. That's why he is saying that it's game.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, brother. Jetted out. Seen Dan being delusional today about making the playoffs. Y'all fishing with us, bro. And Dolphins will be also. First game wild card. Be one happy fam. Jetted out. Misery loves company. My friend. Perfect example. Clyde.
No playoffs.
500 teams or better on the road. Bills 0-1. Eagles. Baltimore 1-1. Browns W. Steelers L. So did lose to the Browns at home. Chiefs 0-1. Broncos L. Dolphins 0-3. Eagles Chiefs. Richie, y'all should trade a 6th for Mac Jones.
Gosh.
Smash Jones. Master, how's your grandma? So the Panthers won, so that's probably a few more days in captivity. I pray that she stays there forever. I can't even win at tanking. P.S. Bills get on a run.
Well, Grandma Master at work's doing well. The Sinaloa cartel called me up and like, listen, man, Caleb Williams, we contacted Caleb, and he's saying he's thinking about coming out to the draft. I'm telling you, man. And yeah, everything's gonna go well.
So they feeding her now?
They are.
I'm confused.
Some Ensure, but it's not the best food, but at least it's some Ensure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
So with the Tannehill apologist saying, I'm confused. Does Saleh need Zach to save his job? So the locker room, what is it? Just tank.
Yeah, that locker room in shambles. Adrian Amos came to an agreement with the team to go ahead and move on. He want to try to get on with a contender, and he's a good safety to me. I don't.
A reason for that too is Ashton Davis, who is
I know.
He's the one that safety you guys saw. He was they want to give Ashton some run. He's on a contract year, and Smash is a great player, Adrian Amos, and we're not winning. So
yeah, and it's on a 1-year deal. So,
so
he got his wish. Now he gets to go sign with a contender.
Yeah, it's just sad, man. It's just sad that all the win now moves that they made, are just collapsing because we're not winning. And I'm over it. I'm covering we literally spent 70% of the show talking about a reality show. It felt like I just want to talk ball. I just want to talk football.
Oh my gosh.
So we can just throw the garbage that the New York Jets are away. We bring in an XFL, CFL super team or something. I'll even take the Shanghai Sharks. You lost to the Packers, fool.
Yeah, you did lose to the Packers, bro.
Yeah, bro. Your offense
take
is
my
nothing without
team
the enemy.
out of your mouth.
Yeah,
Patrick
bro.
Mahomes. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Still in the NFL, even though we don't.
Hey, Jordan Love look good though, boy.
He did
I
look
ain't gonna
good. I'm
lie.
not taking that away from him.
Hey,
yeah.
not
I'm
gonna lie,
taking that
I'm
away from
excited
him
for
at
Jordan
all.
Love to be a Jet in 15 years, baby. Future
In
Jet.
15 years.
He's gonna be a future Jet in 15
Jordan Love's future
years.
Jet. That's already inevitable. Flip side, Fishing says the Patriots have always been the whipping boy in the AFC East until they got Brady. What you talking about?
Bro, that was 20-something years ago, dog. Whipping boy my ass, bro. Y'all are our whipping boy. What the hell is this guy talking about?
Oh, no. Dislike button. I'm an easy smash too. However, statistics show that only dudes with small wieners smash me. Save this.
So if you got a big wiener, smash the like button.
Smash the like one.
How many like buttons have been smashed, Dan? You have a number?
Dude.
How many smashes have we handed out for free on this show?
So while I'm looking up that number, guys, there's probably a few of you who are watching, 1,000 of you watching this right now, and like you're thinking, like, you know what, man? Like, I'm a good Christian man. I shouldn't be smashing like buttons. But let me tell you what, man, no one's watching. Go over there. Give that like button the best 2 seconds of your life. All right. Go on ahead, smash that for you boys. Let's get this up to 750. Onward.
Oh my gosh. Y'all funny, man.
TD, I've been watching Richie's Jet Show, and I am seeing a Dolphins fan in the closet. Talk to Richie, TD, and let him know. And own it. It's okay. And to enjoy cheering for a winning team.
Yeah, man, Richie's always welcome on board. I understand, man. He's worried about how he'll look in front of others, but Richie's a real Dolphin fan.
Now, in all seriousness, Alan, thank you for tuning in. But TD, I do have to show you a clip because I don't think you saw this. One of my call-ins on my podcast today. He hates you.
What's new? A Dolphin fan?
No, a Jets fan.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I hate TD. He said, and he went into this whole thing.
It's all about like how much he hates.
Because how much
See, the thing is that like
you got it, Richie.
No, I don't
and so
have
we're
it. I
all
can
like
find it,
super
though.
nice guys, though. Like that's like what I'm afraid that
I
people
want to
don't
hear it,
understand.
Richie, man.
I'll find it. Want me to pull it up?
Yeah, man.
I was losing my mind. I was like, yeah, I hate him too. I hate that guy. It's so good. It was so good. I'll pull it up.
Oh my gosh, man.
You trade for a 40-year-old quarterback and are surprised he got hurt. That's the Jets' fault. Tom Brady was an anomaly. Joshua Whitestone, $5 coming on in, showing some financial love, some written hate. Look at that. Drink music. Salah might get fired just because he can't get an offense going. A head coach needs to be able to have both offense and defense.
I agree. What I've been trying to tell people.
Then they gonna promote Nathaniel Hackett as the head coach for next year.
Oh my God! Imagine.
Oh man.
Roger says now you got to promote Hackett as head coach. Or I'm gone.
And so I love how the AFC has come together. We just need to root against each other, but also rep our division. Go AFC East for Chip and go Fins. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that.
All right. I don't know. Let me know if you guys can hear this. You hear
Patriot
this?
fans in here, and it's TD Finstock. He sucks.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
All right. Let me just play it back then.
It's one thing I can't stand more. It's the Dolphins. It's the random Patriot fans in here, and it's TD Finstock. He sucks. And the fraudulent defense. Dude, I hate him, bro. He's like, he sucks, dude. And like, if we get one meaningless win, it'll be great to just have beat the Dolphins. But if not, let's just tank, end the season, get the 4th pick in the draft, and just call it a day.
Oh, it sucks, bro. Thank you for that hot take. And who sucks? Which Dolphin content creator sucks?
The Finstock guy. I know you guys are thinking it, and I just have to be that guy to be like, dude. He's just like, dude, for all the Jets defense, dude, 2 through like 3 interceptions. Like, What are you talking about? Like, I can't wait for them to lose in the playoffs. You guys haven't won the playoffs since 2000.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I got him shook. I got him Jets shook.
That was great, man. Shout out to
Yeah.
Hackett Sucks. Great call.
Oh,
But
the fraudulent defense. Oh man,
Jack's like, who sucks? Which Dolphins creator sucks? You wanted me to say?
oh
That was
man.
great. Oh my God, I love my callers.
Salah might get fired just because he can't get an offense going. A head coach needs to be able to have both offense and defense.
You read
Yeah,
that?
we
Dan.
read that.
We did. Read that one as well. And by the way, thank you. Realistic, in my opinion, Bills go 10-6, Miami, and so 11-5. Hear me out. So
Hey, we still
So
in
I
the
think-
16 games season? Well, he talking about
yeah,
okay,
he probably
week
means
18.
10-7 and 11-6. Bills
No.
win the division if win week 18. Bills offense is finally clicking. Rich, thank you, brother. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Justifying Zach's crap play by putting worse quarterbacks after him doesn't make him good. He just slightly better than crap. That's an interesting profile picture you have there.
How they steal that from your
It's
room?
like an AI, and so it's an AI trash can.
That's pretty dope though.
And so unrelated right to the AFC East, but man, someone please save Herbert. And so I'm a Finns fan, but I feel bad for him every week. Send him to the Seahawks or something. He gets blamed for stuff that's not his
Hey,
fault.
don't you dare put
No,
that
bruh.
disrespect on my man Geno Smith.
I watched Herbert, bro. He ain't it, bro. I'm telling you right now, he ain't it. I was completely wrong about Herbert, man. He is not it, bro. I don't want to hear no excuses. He still has Eckler on the team. He still has Key. Bro, they scored 6 points, bro. You scored 6 points, and the defense gave up 6, and gave up nothing. And you could. Herbert is. I'm telling you, bro. I don't. Maybe Dolphins fans are right, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm completely down on Justin Herbert at this point, man. He looks awful. He's overthrowing receivers. He's not going through his progressions like he used to. I don't know, man. Mentally, he's either checked out or he just. I don't know, bro.
It's interesting because we've seen him actually do it, and now it's like that whole team falling apart. Well, the coach is getting fired. That's the obvious.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But he doesn't look like the same quarterback. He just doesn't.
And so imagine Boyle versus Zappy, week 18, worst game ever. Huh.
Oh my God.
Damn.
That would be something.
And so only the strong survive. We had to suffer the past 2 years. Lamar bulk up for a Super Bowl run. Habitual line stepper. Thank you for the donation, man. We appreciate you. So the New York Jets clean house. The Pats fire BB. It comes back right to the Jets as a head coach / GM and wins a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers to prove that he's the greatest head coach of all time.
He hates the Jets too much to go to the Jets.
Interesting. Let's see. A. Burgos is saying Finns wins the East. Finns get to the AFC Championship in Miami, and so everything else is recyclable. TD Love Fam. Thank you for the donation. A. Burgos. Thank you so much.
All about you.
Rich is saying Bill's offense getting hot at the right time. I certainly agree with that. Rich, thank you for the donation.
You're welcome.
Clyde is saying, you are all great. I love your content. Watch you all on your channels. Can't imagine Monday football without your lead-in. Thank you all for your hard work. That's right. We have a game starting in like 10 minutes.
Thank you, Clyde.
Thank you, Clyde. You're the absolute man. Dolphins Uncensored is coming on in. He's saying, Dan, you lost to the Jets. Packers are better than the Jets, and you lost to the Bills. Fool. Onward. Dolphins fans, start the movement. Jets fans, vote Zach to go to the Pro Bowl. That would be funny. That would be very funny. In fact, I think that we could probably start that movement on this channel. I think
you know the names. Like, do you know the names I got called and all the slander I received for defending Zach from my own fans and Jets fan base? You guys have no idea what I've been through because I don't bring it onto this channel. Keep that.
And so we bet in the trenches, bro. And so we bet in the trenches.
Bro, I was Mac Jones. You know
comments, bro. We bet in the trenches.
Mac Jones? Shit.
Yeah, bro.
I won that war, though. I definitely won that war.
And so did you know that in the history of the NFL, no coach and quarterback that has been together for 5 years has won the Super Bowl together? If you have not won, thank you for dusting off the history book, my friend. But I told you, it's going to be the greatest story ever told. I'm proud of Zach. He is giving the finger to all Jets fans base. only Jet player I like. As for the Patriots, they're going to draft another bad quarterback. Frankie.
Well, yeah, appreciate Frankie for the super chat. I want to tell me what school did you go to become an NFL scout? Since you're a Jet fan, so you should be able to scout
No, he's a
quarterbacks,
Dolphins
right?
fan, I think.
Oh, he's a Dolphins fan?
Yeah, he's a Dolphins fan.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
He always
Either
trolls
way,
me. That's how I know.
give me the name of the school that you went to go become an NFL scout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it just so happens to be all of the super chats
UCLA.
for this evening. We have a game starting in about 10 minutes. This means a lot for Dolphins fans watching. If the Bengals can pull off a miracle and beat the Jaguars, the Dolphins would be sitting at a number 1 seed. Real fast. So certainly something to consider. We have one more super chat, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this show, guys.
Sleeper.
Tyson's new secret. Nice profile picture. Thank you. Who do you guys think will win the Heisman? I think Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels earned it. As much as I think that, yeah, dude.
A bunch of future Jets won it.
A bunch of future Jets just won. Yeah,
One
most
of them
definitely.
is.
I'm going Jaden Daniels.
Zach Wilson.
I can't believe I'm.
It's all right, boys. Guys, listen, once again, we did announce that we are releasing our very first show on Roundtable Sports called 3 and Out. It is going to be a great and fantastic show. We certainly recommend that you go on ahead and check it out. Go subscribe to that channel. There's only 500 subs at this point. So make it happen. And we totally forgot about Sleeper. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do that because this game's starting in literally 5 minutes. So we got to put together a damn parlay. Ladies and gentlemen, Sleeper is hands down the number 1 when it comes to player prop sports betting, the face of the planet. They're matching 100% of your initial deposit the second that you do sign up. The only thing that you need to do is when you do sign up for that specific app, we need you to put in code AFC East. All right, that is right. That is AFC East, and you will be able to get $100 matched from when it comes down. And let me just go ahead and share my screen real fast for the boys. And let's get this going. All right, ladies and gents, we have this game. And since time is of the essence as of right now, boys, it starts in literally, starts in 1 minute. Let's go ahead and put together a 4-leg parlay.
Lawrence over 2 touchdowns or just 1.5.
Yeah,
right? Browning less than a pass to touchdown. He's not getting in the end zone twice. I mean, what are we doing?
Where is he? Right
Where's there.
Browning at? Pass touchdown less than 1.5?
Oh, TD thinks he does. Then go over. Let's go the TD route. Let's get everyone's offense, everything.
Go under.
Etienne over.
ETN over 14.5 receiving yards.
Or 64 rush. I think receiving is probably and so I think I like rush yards. And then Calvin Ridley, who's been hit or miss, but he has been actually exploding. So we can go on ahead
tonight, baby. And then we're gonna go
Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk over.
Let's go Christian Kirk over right now, boys. Let's go T. Higgins.
And then Boyd under.
Under
really, yards.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
I do. Why is everyone so afraid of unders?
I guess you're right, bro.
Everyone's terrified of unders, and they always
better hurry up and get it in, Dan. They're gonna shut it off.
All right, boys. We got $10 to win 347. Wait.
Pause.
What? No!
No. You can still get it in. You just gotta wait until the possession over. So you'll have a moment when the possession over, you can get it in, but they need because it's recalculating.
Guys, if you click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat, you will automatically download the app, and you will automatically have the AFC East code in there for you guys. It would mean a lot if you can help us out. It helps us more than you guys know. Don't forget, click that link, download the app, use AFC East as your code, and download the Sleeper Fantasy app.
$10.
Win some money, would you?
$10 to win 367 doll hairs right there, ladies and gents. Sleeper is hands down the place To absolutely be. Guys, what's
And-
going on your individual channels this week?
Who cares about our individual channels? We got
Yeah, bro,
something
we
more
gotta go,
important to
dog.
talk about. We got the AFC South Roundtable tomorrow at
Yes.
7 p.m.
Oh.
Eastern Time that you guys should definitely check out. The AFC South all of a sudden is like this upcoming division, one of the better divisions in the AFC. You can argue the second best division in the AFC next to the AFC North. Very interesting stuff hosted by TD Finstock. Wednesday night, the NFC North Roundtable. That's another division that is actually looking really good. The Green Bay
6
Packers are in the playoffs.
6:15.
Lions are in first place by a landslide. And then, of course, you have our show Wednesday night. And then the first ever Roundtable show will be on Monday, which we'll be talking a little bit more about on Wednesday night. Who cares about us individually, right? Let's talk about Roundtable Sports. Let's go to the top.
Oh, don't forget, we got another special announcement this Friday evening, either 7:30 or 8 o'clock. You'll get the announcement. Right here on AFC East Roundtable, we are launching the Miami Dolphins Roundtable, led by Dudley Durong, ladies and gentlemen. So right here on
And
the
yourself.
AFC, yeah, I'm gonna be on there. But Doug,
Who else? Who are the
he's
other
the
two?
catalyst. CB, the homie. I don't know if he's still in here. He was in here earlier.
Okay, I know who you. Okay.
CB83 will also be joining us, and we'll have rotating guests for the fourth slot every week. So come through on Friday. AFC East Roundtable, Miami Dolphins Roundtable, Friday
And
night.
if you guys don't know what it is, the first Jets Roundtable got launched on last Thursday. That's going to be live on Thursday again at 1 o'clock. And basically, that's it's cool because you're getting Jets fans' perspective of the AFC East. You're going to get Dolphins fans' perspective of the AFC East. It's not going to be a Dolphins center show. It's going to be Dolphins' perspective of the entire division. And then eventually we'll have the Bills and the Patriots in due time. So stay tuned for all that great stuff.
Yes.
One last super chat. If the Dolphins go into last week versus Bills and their playoff seeding is done, Tyreek is 100 yards from 2,000. Do the Fins play the starters? That's a good question.
They're gonna play him.
They're going to play him?
Yeah. We'll have to play the entire to get the 1 seed. We're going to be in contention the whole time.
All right. We shall see. Adam, thank you for the last minute donation. We appreciate you. And salute to everybody tuning into the AFC's Roundtable. Peace.
Love you.
Thank y'all again for tuning in.
Peace.
And please stay tuned for everything else we have coming down the pipeline, baby. Talk
You know,
soon.
Josh Allen was on the bye. He's still trash. Bye.